You can measure the size of an elephant. You can clock the speed of a cheetah, but you can't quantify the heart of a kings, queens, and in-betweens. Welcome to Dr. Boxing Talk. Stream starts now.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. But if I tell you I'm no good, you know I'm lying.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. What it do? What it do? Good, great, grand afternoon to y'all wonderful people, man. Ladies and lads, brethren and sisters, mi hermanos, mi hermanas, kings and queens, prince and princesses, boys and girls, and everything in between, man. What it do, man? You know, the doctor's in the house. Yes, let's get it, man. Shout out to my guy Oscar, man. Yo, man, one of the trillest, one of the realest. You know what I'm saying? My boy need an emote, man. My boy be holding me down, man. Y'all know what time it is, though. We here, man. We are here. Yes, sir. My guy says, I don't care what anybody says. That Grand Prix was lit. That Grand Prix was, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That Grand Prix was straight fire. That Grand Prix was straight fire. You know it was so good? I messed around and fell asleep. I woke up, they were still fighting. I said, gosh, dang. I went to sleep while I was watching it while I dozed off. Woke back up, they still fighting. I said, yo, shout out to them, man. My boy Austin coming through, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to my guy, man. Before we get started with the shenanigans, we got some things to chop about. Today. Let's go ahead and say our prayers, man. So please join me and bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your blessings. We thank you for your guidance. We thank you for leading us up into this point, Lord, you know, and giving us some more moments to enjoy those things around us, you know, the people around us, our loved ones and stuff like that, our family, our friends, and everybody, Lord. So please let us move forward in a manner to which we make co-inhabitation of this wonderful green earth that you bless us with a little better for all of us, you know, make it a better place for all of us, Lord. And we thank you for you know, the extra time that we get, because when our time's not done, that means we have more things to accomplish and our purpose is not fulfilled. So please, Lord, continue to guide us to our purpose and protect us from distractions and things that knock us off our pivot or knock us off our path, and give us the strength to get back onto our path, Lord. We thank you for your blessings. We ask for forgiveness of our multitude of sins and the cleansing of our sins, and your continuous blessings. In Jesus' name, Amen. Amen, amen, bro. Facts. Left for an hour, came back. They still swinging. You know what I'm talking about? They still swinging. Man, so let's get right to it, man. I got some things I want to talk about. Before I get to it, though, I want to ask y'all a random question. Random. Oscar Perez, I need your help, my brother. Can you name me who are the best coaches in basketball? Just give me two of them. Just give me your two favorite or two. No. Who are the two best coaches in basketball history, right? Give me two of them. And then also give me two or three of your favorite trainers in boxing. It doesn't have to be active. It could be active or it could be in history. Please give me two, give me three. And we go and double back on it. But right now, everybody in the chat, give me two of your top basketball head coaches and give me three of your favorite trainers in boxing. We're going to do a little activity. You know what I'm talking about? All right. So, we gonna double back there, man. Please drop it in the chat. We will revisit that, you know. But I do all want to correct something, you know, because I don't like to disseminate incorrect information, you know. And if I'm wrong, I am man enough to admit that I'm wrong. So we were talking today with a particular goofy and that was in the chat, and I saw him some other places, and he was exactly what we thought he was as far as some of the comments that he said. It was in the Grand Prix, but you know, we don't worry about that. You know, let people act how they want to act, you know. But this person, we're not gonna be too hard on him. When you're over here, as long as you act correct over here, we're gonna treat you how you act and represent yourself over here. So we're gonna let it slide. But he definitely didn't prove me wrong, you know what I'm saying? But it's never right to assume, but I'm glad I saw it. But anyway, I do have to make a correction. Out of all the things that we said today, I did make one mistake. And that mistake was that I said that Juan Francisco Estrada was not a champion when he fought Bam Rodriguez. And I said that he shouldn't have been if he was, because I didn't think so, because he was on a 2-year hiatus since he last fought. And I was correct about that, right? Before he fought Bam Rodriguez, he fought Chocolatito 2 years ago, right? I think he fought Bam Rodriguez in 2024. He fought Chocolatito in 2022, you know, so he had a major gap, right? So that's why I forgot that he was a champion, but he was indeed a champion at super flyweight. He had the WBC belt, and Bam Rodriguez took that off of him, you know what I'm saying? So I was incorrect about that. I thought he was a former champ at that time, but everything else I said was correct, you know what I'm saying, as far as Bam Rodriguez and his history and being a multi-division champion, and Juan Francisco Estrada being on the decline. But he did have a WBC belt at the time. That it was not Bam's belt. I thought it was Bam's belt, but it was Juan Francisco Estrada's belt. So I did make that mistake, you know what I'm saying? But he's definitely still old, though. You know what I'm talking about? That boy's still old, though. You know what I'm talking about? He was definitely still old, you know what I'm saying? We weren't wrong about that. But I did make that error, you know. My boy, El Gallo, he definitely earned his name. He's not a spring chicken. He's an old rooster.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, man. So I just want to make sure, you know, I don't like to, if I'm wrong and I make a mistake, then I admit that, you know, I was wrong about that. He said, F if I know, tell me soccer. He said, Nacho Bernstein, DJ as in Derek James? Not Derek James. Who you talking about? Who's DJ? And Chepo Reynoso and Eddie's dad. Okay, Reynoso, right? Okay, so let me ask you something, Oscar. I'm gonna ask you something, Oscar. Let's go with Reynoso, right? What did how many people did Reynoso beat as a boxer? Was he a great trainer? Well, he's a great trainer. Was he a great boxer? What was his style? Right? Was he an offensive fighter? Was he a slick fighter? Was he a flat-footed fighter? Was he a quick fighter? Was he an agile fighter? Was he a high-volume puncher? Was he a defensive fighter? Is he a Philly shell? Was he a cross-arm defense? What kind of fighter was he? Derek James? Okay, shout out to Derek James. Yeah, okay, and what about Derek James? Was Derek James a great fighter? Was Derek James undisputed? Was he a Hall of Famer? Did he throw punches and bunches? What about Derek James, man? Was he as good as Errol Spence? Was he the same type of fighter as Errol Spence? Was Eddie Reynoso, is he the same type of fighter as anybody that he trained? Let's say Canelo. Oh, Eddie's 0-0-0. Okay, you know what's so crazy about that? Because I was thinking about basketball, right? And I was like, dang, who's the best trainer in basketball, head coach in basketball? I would say Phil Jackson. Did Phil Jackson play like Michael Jordan? Was he a star like Michael Jordan? No, he won a championship belt, you know, but he wasn't an offensive a juggernaut like Jordan. He wasn't as intelligent as Jordan was on the court. He wasn't as athletic as Jordan was on the court. He wasn't as cerebral or as clutch as Jordan was on the court. But that still didn't stop him from being a great trainer. What about Steve Kerr? Right, Steve Kerr's a great head coach. Was he as prolific of a 3-point shooter as Steph Curry? Steve Kerr could shoot the three, the spot up three, of course, yeah. But could he shoot at the clip of Steph Curry? I don't think so. But he trained him very well, right? He coaches them very well, right? I mean, they won a couple championships, you know, I think 4 to be exact, right? I'm just saying, because, you know, when Derek James trains EJ, I don't hear anybody say, oh, you know, Derek James, man, his style is not the same that EJ needs. let's say Eddie Reynoso Jr., right? His style is not the same as Canelo. Phil Jackson, oh, his style's not the same as Michael Jordan. No one says that, right? So why is a narrative when I see people talk about Sugar Shane Mosley and Devin Haney, I'm hearing people say, "Oh well, Sugar Shane Mosley is not a good trainer for Devin Haney because Devin Haney needs to work on his defense because Sugar Shane Mosley wasn't a defensive style fighter." Oh, okay. So because Sugar Shane Mosley wasn't a defensive, his fight game wasn't predicated off of defense like Floyd, that means he can't teach anybody defense. Oh, okay. So Freddie Roach, he taught Manny Pacquiao how to fight like that because Freddie Roach fought like Manny Pacquiao. You see where I'm going? It's just people will say the dumbest stuff ever, bro, and they would say it with conviction and passion like they're correct. Since when does a good coach have to be a great fighter? Since when to teach somebody something you have to do it? It's so funny because the same people that are saying, "Oh, well, Devin Haney needs this," or this coach, this fighter needs this, or this trainer needs this. You never fought in your life. You never trained anybody. You never boxed, and you never probably even fought in the street. But you want people to take advice from you. The irony in that. But you're saying that Sugar Shane Mosley is incapable of teaching Devin Haney defense because he wasn't a defensive fighter. Oh, okay, so Virgil Hill was as good of a fighter as Andre Ward. So Freddie Roach was as good of a fighter as Manny Pacquiao. He fought like Baba Boom. When Freddie Roach was fighting Roger Mayweather, rest in peace, he was Baba Boom and Roger Mayweather. You see the stupidity in people though. And they speak with so much conviction. You would think like they gotta be right. They gotta know what they're talking about. I'm not saying Sugar Shane Mosley is a defensive fighter. Of course, you see him getting bam boom bing by my boy Cinnamon right there. But in order to be able to teach somebody defense, you had to have demonstrated yourself. That's what we're doing. How many people has Calvin Ford beat? Coach Calvin Ford, you know, the famous trainer that's training Gervonta Tank Davis. What's his record looking like? How many knockouts did he have? Was he a big knockout puncher? Oh, so he can't effectively train Gervonta Tank Davis because he's not a knockout puncher? I mean, I'm just wondering. When's the last time you seen Derrick James on Austrian? I guess in order for him to train Ryan Garcia because he cheated, he had to be a cheater too, right? I mean, I'm just keeping it consistent, right? That's what we're saying, right? I mean, I'm just asking, bro. Am I going off the deep end or nah? Is that's not what we're saying? Like, I don't understand. Like, don't get me wrong. First of all, Sugar Shane Mosley, from my understanding, he's just brought in there to help out. He's not like getting the full reins, but I don't see how he cannot help. You don't think Sugar Shane Mosley, who's been in there with Miguel Cotto, who's been in there with Saul Canelo Alvarez, who's been in there with Floyd Mayweather, who's been in there with Winky Wright, who's been in there with what's my guy's name, rest in peace, Vernon Forrest. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that he can offer you something to teach you something about defense because his style wasn't predicated off of defense? So I guess Floyd Mayweather, he had no business trying to groom Gervonta Tank Davis because Floyd wasn't a big knockout puncher. So Gervonta Tank had to be trained by Mike Tyson because, you know, only you got to go with people that are similar to you. I guess Mike Tyson shouldn't have been trained by Cos D'Amato because Cos D'Amato wasn't a big knockout puncher himself. What are we talking about, bro? Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Some of the people in amongst these boxing the quote unquote aficionados, man, y'all really piss me off, bro. Y'all got to be the most stupidest, most idiotic, goofiest, dumbest people on earth, man. Thomas Hill in the building. What's good, brethren? Oh, we're the chat in the screen. My fault. Appreciate that, bro. My fault. I didn't bring up the chat. You know, I was on the roll, man. You know, I was really feeling that. Yo, my guy Thomas said, sounds like you talking good sense, bro. Hey, ninjas don't relate to good sense these days. I'm telling you, Thomas. Bro, am I tripping? Like, tell me what I'm talking about, bro. I want to bring up this article right here, bro. This article I'm not saying you got to root for Devin Haney. I'm not saying, hey, if you don't like Devin Haney, you don't like Devin Haney. I'm not telling you to like him, but what does it got to do? I've never seen these narratives before. Like I've never seen these narratives before. Like, and Devin Haney has a fragile chin, so I guess he has to be trained by somebody else that has a fragile chin so he can know how to navigate through the boxing world with a fragile chin. That's what people are saying. And, you know, I think Devin Haney has a lot of heart, man. He kept getting up, but that chin was getting touched. I just don't understand how we got to this point to where you cannot learn something from somebody unless they did it. But then we have the audacity to try to tell somebody how to do something that we never did in our life. If you never trained anybody in your life, how can you tell somebody what kind of training they need? How can you tell somebody that they're incapable of doing something? Steve Kerr doesn't have to be the best basketball player to be the best coach. Phil Jackson doesn't have to be the best basketball player to be the best coach. Roger Mayweather didn't have to be the best boxer to be the best trainer. Eddie Reynoso Jr. doesn't have to be the best trainer to be the best trainer for Canelo. Bomac didn't have to be the best fighter to be the best trainer for Terrence Bud Crawford and Keyshawn Davis and them. Robert Garcia, did he have to be a better fighter than Mikey Garcia in order to be a great trainer for him? And Brandon Rios and Rayo Valenzuela and Jesse Bam Rodriguez or whoever else he's training? Do you have to? It's obligatory for you to be a good fighter in order to be a good trainer, and it's obligatory for you to be a good basketball player in order to be a good coach. Who wrote these rules, bro? Who wrote these? You have to have a style in order to teach a style. You have to have been able to demonstrate the style in order to teach it. You know, what's so funny. You know, there's a saying too, right? That Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, and Michael Jordan would have been terrible coaches, despite being one of the best basketball players ever. Because it's one thing to know how to do something, and it's another thing to teach it. It's a whole nother ball game entirely. Some of the smartest professors, from my experience, are the worst professors when it comes to teaching a class. I had a professor who actually literally has theorems in engineering named after him, Dr. Van Domelen. Go look it up. You know, I actually have another professor who is world renowned in the field of cryogenics, Dr. Van Sciver. No disrespect, it's gonna sound bad. Shout out to them. I like them, but they're terrible. The best professor that I've ever had is Dr. Haruta. She ain't got Nan theorem written after her. You know, who else? Who else is another good professor? Dr. Hollis. He ain't got Nan theorem. He ain't got Nan, gosh dang, he ain't got Nan, shrine dedicated to him. Those are two of the best professors I've ever had. Because they know how to break things down to a level where it seems so easy. And it doesn't seem complex, and that's a talent in itself. Just because Jordan could do it doesn't mean that he can motivate Steve Kerr to be able to do it, or a Steve Kerr caliber player, or the 6th person on the bench, or the 12th person on the bench, or the star player. You see what I'm saying? Just because you could do something doesn't mean that you're capable of teaching it. And just because you can't do something doesn't mean that you're incapable of teaching it. Sugar Shane Mosley could be the best defensive trainer ever. Just because he's not a defensive fighter doesn't mean he can't teach it. Just because you're not a knockout artist don't mean you can't train one to be. You see what I'm saying? But it's just crazy, bro. People just say the dumbest things and they think that they just sound so intelligent, man. You sound the complete contrary of intelligence. You sound gosh dang dumb. Very dumb. And sometimes if you don't got something to say and you don't know what you're saying, maybe you should just
Shut up, bitch.
because the yield emotional content and ego they are dripping. You know, you feel me? With both. You feel me? Bro, I could have sworn I made you a mod already, Thomas. I don't know what the heck happened, bro. Sometimes I make people mods and it goes away. I don't be thinking about that stuff anyway, man. But shout out to my guy Thomas, man. But yeah, Larry Bird, the legend of green, comes to mind. You feel me? You feel me? You need to understand the principles of the sport and more importantly, how to precisely convey. Hold on, bro. Please look forward in the pews. Turn forward in the pews. Please, please, please. My boy, Pastor Thomas Hill. That sounds like you. Hey, you got a pastor's name for real, man. Hey, Pastor Thomas Hill. That sounds official. Pastor Thomas Hill is approaching the pulpit, man. My boy is preaching right now. He says, hold on, chat. He says, I lost the message. He said, you need to understand the principles of the sport. And more importantly, how to precisely convey those principles to your pupils. Talk to him again. My boy dropping bombs on y'all, man. Come on now. I'm just saying, like, it's just so crazy to be like, I'm not saying Sugar Shane Mosley is the most appropriate coach or trainer for Devin Haney. I don't know who is, but I know you don't know. How you gonna say that Sugar Shane Mosley, who's a Hall of Famer, doesn't know how to teach defense? Because he's not a defensive fighter. You didn't see him demonstrate that in the ring. What do we talk about? Canelo has a granite chin, right? He gets hit all the time. Canelo might be able to be the best trainer, especially defensive trainer, that we have ever seen if he ever goes that route. You never know. Gervonta Tank Davis may be the best teacher of the Philly shell. He might have somebody, some young up-and-coming fighter out there, gosh dang, looking like Floyd with the Philly shell. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Just because people don't demonstrate this themselves doesn't mean that they're not able to teach it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, people are just crazy, man. Shout out to my guy Oster, man. My boy Oster in the building. Yeah, I don't understand it. My uncle, he one of the dumbest mofo in farming houses, but he explains it, framing houses, excuse me, but he explains it well. Yeah, I'm not saying that, of course, if you have experience, it helps, you know, so of course, I would think that, yeah, man, Floyd Mayweather will probably be able to teach Devin Haney defense better than Sugar Shane Mosley. You know what I'm saying? And I would also think that Mike Tyson will be able to tell somebody how to hit with force better than somebody like Floyd Mayweather. But that doesn't mean that these people aren't capable of teaching how to punch precisely or punch with speed and accuracy. And that's something else that could translate to force and power. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like, Freddie Roach did not fight nothing like Manny Pacquiao. He's in the Hall of Fame because how he trained Pacquiao. I don't know how. I don't know what else to say, man. I just think people are goofy as hell, man. So yeah, I think if you're all here spewing that, I think you're a fucking dumbass. I ain't gonna lie. And it's so crazy the fact that these people have so many opinions and they wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight, but you're telling people what other people are incapable of doing who are in that field. But then at the same time, you have no experience as a combatant or a trainer, but you're telling somebody what somebody else needs. You can all have an opinion, but some people are a little more valid than others. Any boxer with the name Sugar got defense, and we talk to him, Oster. Talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him, man. And I ain't gonna lie, though. Shout out to my boy Sugar Shane Mosley, but he might gosh dang be the worst Sugar. I ain't gonna lie to you. And that's not a bad thing, you know. But when you talk about Sugar Shane Robertson, Sugar Shane, you talk about Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and then Sugar Shane Mosley. I ain't gonna lie, man. He a little lacking, but he's still good enough, and he's a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? That's no knock, but I would definitely put him number 3. You know what I'm talking about? We talking about the Sugar, hell. You know, I might put him behind Walter Payton, Sweetness. You know, that's close enough to Sugar. You know what I'm talking about? But also there's the fact that didn't have the greatest defense, had the best insight on. Come on now, on how to come, how to come. That was so once they get to recollect on them things, right? How to come on, so once they get to recollect on them things. That's a fact. Clarence in the building, my boy Clarence here in the beginning of his career. Now, facts. I agree with you, Oster. I was just messing around. I agree with you though, Oster. No, you're absolutely right, man. I just can't believe like all this stuff I'm seeing. I'm not saying that Sugar Shane Mosley is the most appropriate person for Devin as a trainer. I don't know who is, but I would like to say that I feel comfortable deferring to a guy like Sugar Shane Mosley and deferring to a guy like Bill Haney, who has led his son to be in the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era ever, you know, well, after Gabriela Fundora, because Gabriela Fundora is the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. So she eclipsed Devin Haney, but Devin Haney is still the youngest on the male side, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm pretty sure that they know how to get recruit the appropriate people to teach the appropriate things. And we'll see, right? Because, you know, Jose Carlos Ramirez, this is a good fight, right? This is a good fight, right? Because a lot of people are picking Ramirez to beat Haney, right? So if Jose Carlos Ramirez wins, right, we're going to give him full credit for beating Devin Haney. I don't care what happened in his last time out. Devin Haney's an undefeated fighter. So if Jose Carlos Ramirez wins, we're giving him full credit, right? Right? And then contrarily, if Devin Haney wins, or should I say when Devin Haney wins, we're going to give him full credit for beating Jose Carlos Ramirez, right? We're not going to say, oh, this is just a flash of the pan, or this is just happenstance because Ramirez, all of a sudden we're going to remember that Ramirez lost his last fight to Barbosa. All of a sudden we're going to bring up that, oh, he lost to Josh Taylor, right? We're not going to do that, right? Because a lot of people are picking Ramirez to beat Devin Haney, right? So when Devin Haney wins, we're going to give him full credit, right? We're going to be impressed because a lot of people think that Devin Haney is going to get broken down by Ramirez, and Ramirez is a good fighter, right? But I just don't want it to be one-sided. If this is a good win for Ramirez, which I think it is, if Ramirez beats Haney, I'm giving him full credit. I'm not going to say, oh, it's a shot fighter. No, I mean, you know, of course, we're gonna believe things like, oh, he didn't bounce back fully. Of course, that's naturally, but that's natural. But this is still a good win for Ramirez. And contrarily, if Devin Haney wins, this is still a good win for Haney as well. We're not going to suddenly flip like most of them are waiting to do, right? We're going to give everybody full credit as they deserve, you know? So, yeah, we're going to see how this goes, man. We're going to see in a couple weeks time, man. You know, we're going to see who's made the best man win. I like Jose Carlos Ramirez. I like Devin Haney. I am rooting for Devin Haney in this fight because I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be rooting for Devin Haney for a long time because I feel like the boxing media and the population as a whole, all of us, we did a terrible job and did this man a supreme injustice, you know, the way we treat him, you know, as a whole. Not saying us individually, but I've never seen somebody struggle with being cheated like this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm rooting for him all the time. The only time I probably wouldn't be rooting for him is if he fights like somebody like Tank. You know, I'm still going with my boy Tank. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably be rooting for Shakur over Devin. Well, I don't know. That's a 50-50. That as far as who I think Shakur beats Devin Haney, but as far as who I want to win, granted, it's not realistic because they're not in the same weight divisions, but if they were, right, hypothetically speaking, I think Shakur beats Devin. But who would I be rooting for? It's 50-50. I don't really care. I wouldn't really have a horse in the race. But Tank, I'd be rooting for Tank over Devin. He said, I think Devin needs to go, and I'll be Teofimo and Devin. I'd be rooting for Devin. He said, read my last message. My boy Oscar, what'd you say, bro? Oscar said, is that why ex-crack hoes the most hardcore Is that why ex-crack hoes the most hardcore pastors? The ones that say men with the soul? Come on, bro. See, come on, bro. See, now I gotta put a case on you. You wildin'.
All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
Nah, you wildin'. You see, you wildin', man. Man, comes to bottom, comes right to mind, off rip, right off rip, man. He said also there's a fact that didn't have the greatest defense, have the best insight on how to come. Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, I read that already. My fault. Shout out to my guy YD, man. A bachelor in boxing talk, man. Welcome to the membership at the bachelors in boxing talk level, man. My boy came through with the big membership. Let's get right. Yes, sir. My boy made an entrance. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to my guy, YD, with the big bachelors in boxing talk, man. You know what I'm saying? My boy a smart one when it comes to this boxing talk. He know what he talk about, man. He got his bachelors in boxing talk, so you better tighten up. You better approach my boy correctly. Shout out to my guy, YD, man. I appreciate you, bro. Big member in the building. He says, I got 5 subscriptions next weekend. I'm just hitting the curve. Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that, man. All the love is appreciated, man. All that you do in any way, shape, or form, in any capacity is much appreciated, man. Thank you, bro. Tank was displaced mentally due to forces outside the sport. Yeah, hair grease. Just for me. That's the thing, man. I will say this, too. Bro, one thing about me, like I said, it's not really that I'm going for one guy more than it's not that I'm ever rooting against a guy. It's rare that happens, right? It's that I'm rooting for a guy more or a girl more than the other person. That's it. I love boxing. So if Lamont Roach beats Gervonta Tank Davis in the rematch, hey, I'm not gonna be mad at Lamont Roach. Shout out to Lamont Roach. He deserves it. You know what I'm saying? If William Skull beats my boy Cinnamon, I won't be happy because I'm rooting for Cinnamon, but I'm not gangbanging against William Skull. He deserves it, man. He's an undefeated champion right now. If he wins, he wins. Let the best man win. If Terrence Crawford, well, I like Terrence Crawford a lot, so this is not a good example. I like Terrence Crawford and Canelo, but I like Canelo slightly more. If Terrence Crawford beats Canelo, boom, salute to Terrence Crawford. Just like when Terrence Crawford beat Errol Spence. I was going for Errol Spence. I like them both, but I like Errol Spence more. It was one of my favorite fighters. I wasn't mad at Terrence Crawford. I can't relate to that, bro. To me, that's being a hater, man. I can't even relate. I could barely spell the four-letter, one-syllable word, man. That's too strong of an emotion, man. A lot of times it doesn't even make sense to have that emotion, you know? So yeah, I can't relate to hate. You know, now if you say some crazy stuff or you cheat, then yeah, I'm gonna be going against you. Like Chris Eubank, I'm going for Chris Eubank against Conor Benn, you know, because Conor Benn cheated with the eggs and stuff like that. So I'm rooting for Chris Eubank. But that's like something that happened that's extra, you know. But as far as two fighters that are clean and consummate professionals, bro, I like Canelo. I think Canelo beats Benavidez. But if Benavidez beats Canelo, kudos to Benavidez, bro. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been no hater, man. I can't relate to that. But speaking of Eubank, though, man, I want to salute Chris Eubank, man. I want to salute Chris Eubank. I want to show y'all this, man. What I thought this was a hell of a gesture, a noble gesture. Shout out to Chris Eubank, man. And this is what I was talking about earlier, chat, because what I'm about to show you is crazy, right? People hated on this man for doing this, chat. And why can't I find what he did? Hold on now. What the? Okay, here we go. Look at this, chat. I'm gonna read this to you, man. I'm talking principalities of wickedness in high places. Talk to him. Oscar, yes, for sure, brother. Is there a lot? If there is live tomorrow, I'm going to hop on for sure. Yes, sir, man. Join the Discord, man, for sure, man. Yes, sir. Don't forget joining. Yeah, thank you, Oscar, for always doing that. Yes, please join the Discord, man. I want to see y'all. I'm gonna read this so y'all could, because I know it might be hard to see, right? Oh, my camera all messed up. I only tell my camera looking all raggedy. All right, but it says, after my first scheduled bout with Conor Benn, right, got canceled, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom never compensated anyone for their training camps. And I know Ty could relate to this, because if you've been in training camps, that's why I tell people all the time, when a fight doesn't go through, like when you're Janabek and you cancel the fight because your fat behind can't make weight, you know, it puts a lot of people in a bad position because they're not getting compensated when the fights don't happen. You can ask Ty about this too, you know, in regards to Keith Thurman and some others. So I've also experienced this as well, not me personally, but I've been around where a fight get canceled and then people don't get paid. So this is what Chris Eubank is saying. He's saying, after my first scheduled bout with Conor Benn got canceled, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom never compensated anyone for their training camps. which never sat well with me. So here's a little something to help out the undercard fighters that were left out of pocket. A few boxers didn't want to give me their bank details. Maybe they will now. And so these are the people that he compensated, man. He dropped 3 stacks in Felix Cash account, Harlan Eubanks account, who's his cousin, Connor Coyle, 3 stacks, 3.5 stacks, you know what I'm saying? Matthew Harris, Mary Romero, Chloe Watson, SJ Courtney, GY Boxing, Ellie Scottney, you know what I'm saying? And Lyndon Arthur, who will be fighting Anthony Yard, and Ellie Scottney, who should be fighting on that wonderful women's card with Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. We got some smoke about them too, because they be wilding. So shout out to him, man. You guess what? He did this, right? He dropped this money on their account for them not getting a fight, right? And look what people said, man. This person right here named Mark said, would be class if you never told the world. Just do it and feel good for yourself. You don't need pats on your back for a feel good deed. So people are critiquing this man because he put it out there on social media that he did it. Now, you know what I'm saying? I will say this, right? Before I get on their head tops, he said, no need to pat yourself on the back for a good deed.
What?
I will say this. Of course, they're right. They're correct as far as when you do good stuff in the background or in the dark, whatever you do in the dark is going to come to light. So if you do good in the dark, it's going to come to light. If you do bad, it's going to come to light. You know, but this is the age of social media. I wouldn't do it. You know, I wouldn't broadcast it like that. But at the same time, I'm not mad at him for doing it, because you got to understand that he's also throwing a dig at Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Clearly, that's what he was doing, right? And also Conor Benn. He's emphasizing that because Conor Benn cheated, their fight had to be postponed till now, and there was further repercussions of you cheating. Besides just the fight getting canceled, you cheating caused a lot of people their livelihood that they were going to earn during that fight that would have happened, that was supposed to happen. So that was the point of him putting it out there that he dropped the money in their account. It wasn't just to say, oh yeah, I'm Santa Claus and I'm coming out blessing everybody like Oprah, talk about you get a car, you get a car, you get a car.
1, 2, 3.
So that wasn't just a point to say, oh yeah, I'm doing such a good deed, but he's also, yes, it's to show that he's doing a good deed, but he's also reminding us that there's other consequences and repercussions when it comes to doing things like cheating, you know what I'm saying, which is why he slapped him with the egg on the face. So, but it just goes to show you that no matter what you do, whether it's a good gesture or whatever, people are going to talk trash about it. That person that was critiquing that nice gesture that Chris Eubank did, they probably never helped anybody kind in their lives. So what you're doing right now is that you're critiquing somebody's kind gesture as opposed to making a kind gesture of your own. That's how people are, especially on the internet, man. That's why when people like, you just gotta do what you do, man. I think that was a dope gesture, man. I don't have nothing. I'm not mad at him for posting online, you know. I get what they're saying, that you could do it in the background, but it wasn't just to say, oh yeah, I put money in your account. It's also to emphasize that Conor Benn is a scumbag for cheating, and he's the reason why these people didn't get paid, and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom didn't do anything to compensate those people. So I'm going in my own pocket to compensate and make up for that void that they have due to Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and Conor Benn's negligence and their cheating efforts. That's the whole point of what he's saying. But it's just people that, once again, man, you know, people that try to pretend to be dumb, you can't fake it for too long, because the real ones see right through it, bro. You're just a dummy. You have a surface level thinking capacity like a maggot. You know what I'm talking about? At least the ant will follow a straight line and build a farm. You know what I'm saying? And collect food and bring it back to the nest. You can't even think that deeply. You just a whole bunch of goofies and clowns just stumbling over each other. Like, think for yourself, bro. Be a free thinker, man. Like, be able to think beyond surface level. Show some type of intellect and comprehension beyond the capacity of an insect, please. You see what I'm saying? Before you try to go and demonize somebody, and you try to make somebody look bad, you just look bad yourself, in my opinion. But speaking of Eubank, though, man, I thought that was a dope gesture. But his father is not so sold, right? Everyone gets a car. You feel me? His father, Chris Eubank Sr., he came out and said that Chris Eubank Jr. is a disgrace. And he said that he's a disgrace for slapping Conor Benn with an egg. He's like, where'd you learn that from? That's disgraceful, right? And I will never, it's not my business to speak on their relationship as a father and son. So I'm not going to say, oh, you shouldn't talk about your son like that or call him a disgrace or whatever. It's disappointing. That's none of my business. But what is my business is when you come out and you say something publicly demeaning the reaction to the initial action of cheating. Chris Eubank didn't just slap Conor Benn with an egg just cause. He slapped him with an egg because he said you disrespected the sport by cheating, and Conor Benn blamed the eggs. So Chris Eubank slapped him with an egg to get recompense for the slight of him cheating with the eggs, right? So I know I'm not mad at Chris Eubank Senior's old school. I'm not mad at him getting mad at that. In fact, I even applaud him for saying that he doesn't like the fight because Chris Eubank Jr., his son, is draining himself in order to fight Conor Benn, and I kind of agree with that, man. It's weak that he has to drain himself that much to accommodate Conor Benn, who cheated before anyway. So it's like he's accommodating a cheater, but the fight's gonna happen. I think it's a dangerous fight. I'm going for Chris Eubank, but I don't know, man. I think Chris Eubank should win. But anyway, like I said, I get the fact that that Chris Eubank Sr. doesn't like the fight. That's cool. And I get the fact that he doesn't like the action of Chris Eubank Jr. slapping Conor Benn with the egg. But I mean, come on, bro. Like, I don't really get the reaction, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really get trashing the reaction. Because is it more disgraceful for a guy to cheat, or is it more disgraceful for you to slap a guy with the egg that cheated? You answer. You tell me that. Which one's more disgraceful? You know what I'm saying? So, like, we cannot forget about the initial action that caused the reaction. The slapping him with the egg was a reaction to the initial action of him cheating and blaming on the egg. It's kind of like, I just always find it so funny because, let's go back to Ryan Garcia, right? If Ryan Garcia cheated Devin Haney and Devin Haney retaliated by pulling out a bat and running down on Ryan Garcia weeks later and breaking a man's legs, would I say it's wrong? Of course, I'd be like, man, that was a little much. But I'm not gonna say, oh, it's disgraceful, because I understand the reaction. It's not like it's not making an excuse for it, but there's a reason why he did it. Whether or not you think it's justified or not, that's your business. But there's a reason why he did it. He felt that the guy cheated me, so I want to get my revenge. And if you want to take a bat and break his legs, it is what it is. I'm going to be like, dang, that's a little overboard, Devin. But I'm not going to say, oh, man, I'm so disappointed in Devin, man. It's so disgraceful. I'm not going to do that. It's like the kid that I told you about in Florida that flew down when he was playing the game, and the dude was talking trash to him, talking about his mama and calling him all types of racial slurs and all that. And then the boy flew down from like Northeast area, flew down to Florida with a hammer, ready to knock that boy's block off. I could objectively say, okay, that's a little much, man, you going overboard. But I'm not going to say, oh, it's disgraceful. I'm not going to say it's such a shame. Like, I can't understand why he would possibly do that. No, sometimes you could say stuff, and sometimes you could do stuff, and you could get your behind whooped, and you should get your behind kicked for it. So I'm not going to be like, oh, man, no, it's so disgraceful. Why? I don't understand. Like, people act like they have to take such a hard stance on some things. Like, they have to make it seem like everything's so black and white, bro. Like, no, you could be like, okay, bet, I would not have reacted like that. But you could also be like, dang, I could understand why they did that. So Chris Eubank, yeah, him slapping Conor Benn with the egg is, I can understand. He's old school. That's a little distasteful. He didn't have to do it. But at the same time, I think that slapping somebody with the egg and cheating somebody in the ring, I think that's a whole lot. I think one is way worse than the other one, and it's not the egg slap. You feel me? So I don't really understand that, man. I thought, in my personal opinion, I thought he came out way too hard. And anybody talking trash about Chris Eubank slapping him with the egg, I think that you're ridiculous. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He slapped him with the egg because the guy cheated him with eggs. You feel me? So I don't really understand. I think that people got slapped for less. You feel me? So yeah, I just don't understand it, man. I thought that was a little bit much. But like I said, obviously they're not in the best terms. But so I won't judge that. I'm not judging the relationship because maybe there's reason for him to go that hard on him. Maybe Chris Eubank has done some disgraceful acts before, and this just compounds the issue. That's not my business. But I do think anybody, not just Chris Eubank Sr., but anybody talking trash about Chris Eubank slapping Conor Benn with the egg, I think you need to check yourself and be like, okay, bet, maybe you would not have done that. But there's probably some things that you would have done in other situations that maybe Chris Eubank wouldn't have done, and maybe that's overboard, So I don't have a problem with it, in my opinion. Not saying it's right, but I definitely ain't saying it's wrong. It's more disgraceful to the man that can cheat. Thank you, thank you, King Grayson. Thank you, bro. It's more disgraceful for the person that cheated. What are we talking about? He slapped him. Teofimo slapped Arnold Barbosa. Chris Eubank Sr. didn't come out and say, "Oh man, that's so disgraceful." What are we talking about, bro? You never seen somebody get slapped before at a press conference? I'm not saying it's right. But where were you at then? So I mean, I think some people have like I don't know. I just thought it was kind of corny. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was weak. But You know, what I did think was funny that Chris Eubank Sr. said that I would never be in your corner. He said, "Your muscle mine." That had me crying. Shout out to Chris Eubank Sr. But he did say that he wants his son to fight Canelo. He said that he'll support that. He think that's a good fight. Nah, I don't know Chris Eubank Sr., you know, and I don't think this is the case. But ain't that kind of funny that you would support the Canelo fight? Your son ain't got no business in that fight, Canelo. You know, it does make more sense as far as the weight disparity goes. It's more even, right? Because Chris Eubank Jr. fights at 160 and 168. So that one makes more sense as opposed to him draining himself. So I get that, you know, but you going to be in this corner against Canelo, really? That's what we doing? The face of boxing. So if your son fights the face of boxing, the biggest bag that you can ever get, you know what I'm saying? That's when you're going to be in this corner then, huh? Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I bet. No, I'm out, brother. Hey, man, shout out to YD, man. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to my guy. Hey, God bless, man. Have a good night, man. Yes, sir. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. I mean, I'm not saying that's the case, but it does make you think a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir, man. Spam those emojis, man. We got Tyson Fury in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? Gypsy King of obesity, man. You feel me? Yes, sir. Spam those emojis, man. But yeah, man. And then yeah, I just thought that was funny, though. I just thought that was interesting, man, with Chris Eubank. The whole Eubank situation, man. I didn't really think that was too big of a deal. But then again, you know, maybe I'm wrong, because maybe I'm the wrong person to talk to about it, because I didn't have a problem with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock either. I didn't have a problem with Draymond Green punching on Jordan Poole. I'm sorry, I just don't like, bro. Maybe I came up from a different area, a different neighborhood, or a different circumstance, but bro, I'm not from that place where, oh, you can say whatever you want and you can't get hands and feet put on you. But no, bro, that's not that's a respect level. You know, some things can get you checked. You know, you talk out the side of your neck, that chin could get checked. That's how it should be. You know, I'm not saying that you should. I'm not advocating for violence all willy nilly, but I don't want to live in a world to where the weak could just say whatever they want to the strong, and then the strong get looked down upon when they check them. No, some people should know their role. If you occupy a role or a position where it would behoove you to not get into a physical altercation, then you should conduct yourself accordingly. If you don't want to potentially get into a fisticuff with somebody, then you should probably choose your words more carefully. Don't be calling somebody stupid or outside their name, or using racial slurs, or speaking down to somebody's wife or their gender or their family, if you don't want to potentially bump after that. You can't have it both ways, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't respect anybody. You know, it's so funny. I remember I was listening to this one person talk about somebody. Was it the Will Smith situation? I don't remember, but he was saying like, oh yeah, if that was, I don't think Will Smith would have slapped him if The Rock would have say if instead of Chris Rock that was The Rock. I'm not saying that Will Smith would have slapped The Rock either, but I know The Rock didn't say anything about Will Smith's wife. So to me, that just shows your mentality. It shows that you're very weak, you know what I'm saying? Because you would only say it's not, you see what I'm saying? He didn't come from an angle like, oh, if someone disrespects him, he's saying that, oh, it matters who disrespects him to how he'll react. That's how you think. So that means that you will disrespect somebody that you feel you can, and then people that you feel you can't disrespect, you won't disrespect them because of the consequences and repercussions. So you're soft. If anybody talks trash about, it doesn't matter who it is, you know what I'm saying? I don't fought people bigger than me, smaller than me, multiple people when I was outnumbered, you know what I'm saying? If I feel disrespected enough, then I'm gonna react how I react. Now I'm not gonna act like, okay, if there's a lion in my front porch, I'm gonna take a broom and chase him out my yard like I would do a lizard. I'm not saying that. Of course, we have common sense, but at the same time too, everybody doesn't think that way. You know what I'm saying? Some people are really about that life, and they don't care about who does something. They care about what that thing is that is done. So, but there's a lot of people that wouldn't do something. So it's like a lot of people that critique these people who do something. It's like, oh, I would never put my hands on another person. Yeah, because you probably a punk pussy anyway. That you're probably a coward. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to live my life by a coward. Some people think it's mature not to get into a physical altercation. No, it's not. It's not maturation. You're just a coward. A lot of times those are punks that say that. Let's be very clear on that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people try to go under try to masquerade like they're so mature and I'm above this. No, you're not above it. You're just a coward, bro. You're just a coward. You wouldn't bust a grape in a food fight. Let's be very clear. Being a coward is not a sign of maturation. Being a coward is being a coward. You know, if you're a coward, you should shut up. It is what it is. Spitting would have been disrespectful. All he had to do was crack an egg on bro's face like Brian Pumper. That's crazy. Yeah, spitting would have been terrible. Now spitting is wrong, bro. Hey, you might get shot if you spit on me. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Somebody, yeah. Sometimes it doesn't matter who the person is or how big you is when you feel disrespect. Exactly, King Grayson. Exactly. Sometimes it's about the action. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be like, oh, if this person's smaller than me, then I'm gonna treat them like crap because I know that I can manhandle them. But if they're bigger than me, I'm a tiptoe around them. You soft, brother. And some people are soft like that. You know, but you shouldn't take advice from people that are soft and cowards. You shouldn't even speak on everything. You know what I'm saying? Hi everyone, how are you all doing? What's good, Abdul Rahim? He said, what do you think of the recent fight in UK with Dalton and Jermaine? I mean, I got Dalton Smith over Matthew Jermaine. I wish Dalton Smith was fighting somebody else better. Not no disrespect to Matthew Jermaine, but Dalton Smith he should be fighting world class level at this point. You know, I think I'm disappointed in his career progression. After he knocked out Jose Cepeda, he should have been calling out champions. And he hasn't been doing that. So I'm not interested in Dalton Smith until he steps his game up. Ben Whitaker and Cameron too. I'm rooting for Cameron, but I think Whitaker is gonna outbox him. Eubank versus Ben. I'm rooting for Eubank, man. You know, I'm rooting for Eubank. But I think that's a very good fight because of the fact that Eubank has to go down. But great content, like, comments. So I appreciate that, Abdul. Thank you, man. Don't forget to smack that like button. Yes, sir, like Abdul says. But yeah, I got Eubank over Ben. But I think that's a very good fight. I really think it's 50-50 because of the fact that they're going down, that Eubank is going down in weight. He might be a little bit drained. Whitaker and Cameron too. I'm rooting for Liam Cameron, but I think Ben Whitaker is going to outbox him this time. Dalton and Jermaine, I'm going with Dalton Smith, but I don't think this is another. I think this is another fight that, whatever. You know, Dalton Smith, I think he should step his game up, in my personal opinion. But yeah, King Grayson, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy how people say these things like, oh yeah, well, you're so wrong, it's just graceful. Like, what? The man cheated him, man. If he's lucky all he got was slapped with an egg. He should have got slapped with some fire. You try to cheat somebody, man, people get hurt in this sport. You know what I'm saying? If you intentionally cheat somebody, you're literally playing with somebody's life. Not just their livelihood as far as making money, but their life, bro. We see people get hurt. In fact, Chris Eubank Sr., he knows that, right? Because the guy that he fought, I can't remember his name, God forgive me. Is it Michael Watson? He just did a mile walk with him, right? That's a former boxer that got severely hurt, chronically injured from fighting Chris Eubank Sr., and there's no PEDs involved. So if somebody has PEDs in their system, unless it's unintentional, mistakes happen. But I don't think Conor Benz was unintentional. So yeah, Chris Eubank should be very offended, man. And not to mention that messed up his livelihood as well, because he was planning on that fight. He probably spent some of that money in his mind. You know how when you anticipate a big check coming, you know what I'm saying? You already got planned in your mind how you gonna spend that money, man. I'm gonna slide over here on this weekend. This weekend I might rent this joint. You know what I'm talking about? Might hit the club. You know what I'm saying? So he probably already spent that money in his mind, and then now you come mess up the bag. Of course you're going to slap him with an egg. What are you talking about, bro? So, yeah, like I said, I don't know. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. That's just my personal opinion on it, man. But flipping gears a little bit, man, we're going to go to Raymond Muratalla. I was watching the Raymond Muratalla video, interview by, I think it was Sean Zettel. And Raymond Muratalla was talking about, hey, he made me smile, man. He made me smile, man. Shout out to Raymond Muratalla, because like I said, I like Muratalla, especially like his father, because I liked his father's take on the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia situation, man. Raymond Muratalla said, hell yeah, I'd sue him. They asked Muratalla. They said, bro, I can't remember who the interviewer was. I don't really care who the interviewer was, but he was like, he asked Muratalla's dad. He said, what you think about Devin Haney suing Ryan Garcia? And he said, would you sue him? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, I'd sue him. He said, that's my son in there. He said, if someone tries to cheat my son, I'm not mad at Bill Haney. And the interviewer was caught so off guard because he wasn't expecting that. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the guys that try to smear Devin Haney. Like I said, I'm not a big Devin Haney fan either. But cheating is cheating, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Raymond Muratalla's father. He gained a lot of respect for me. But I always like Raymond Muratalla as a fighter. I did think he got away with one with Tevin Farmer. That was a close fight. But it is what it is. I think he could have lost it, but it was a good fight, a close fight either way. But anyway, what I was happy about Muratalla, because Sean Zettel was interviewing him, and he asked him what's his future plans. And those of you that know, you rock with this channel, I'm sure you know, because I said it multiple times, right? Raymond Muratalla's next fight is against Zaur Abduliev, and that will be a fight for the winner to get the IBF champion, which is Lomachenko. So Lomachenko has until October 8th, I believe, by the IBF. They gave him a medical extension due to him hurting his neck and his back. And they're like, okay, bet. You could get this medical exemption. We're going to give you time to recover. But once you recover, you have to fight the winner of Muratalla and Abduliev, defend your belt against them, or vacate it, right? So a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, for all the evidence that we have, is what leads us up to believe that the winner of this fight, Raymond Mortala or Abduliev, will get Lomachenko. And if not, if Lomachenko refuses, then the winner of this fight will be elevated to full IBF champion, right? And let's say in this scenario, Raymond Mortala wins, which I think he's a favorite, and I think he beats Zaur Abduliev, right? I think Zaur Abduliev is gonna fight his behind off, right? He's definitely gonna put forth the effort. He's not gonna be for any lack of effort, right? But I don't think he's gonna have enough. You know, we've seen him fight against Devin Haney and some others. I just think Raymond Mortala is gonna be too much for him. He's gonna outclass him. But Mortala said after that, I want Keyshawn Davis, and that right there is fire. Now, does this mean that that fight is gonna happen? Two young prospects, you know, both on top rank. It doesn't mean it's gonna happen. You know, I don't know what Bob Arum plans are. We've seen Bob Arum not let his star fighters fight each other plenty of times before, like Shakur Stevens and Lomachenko not fighting, or Shakur and Teofimo not fighting, or Shakur and Raymond Mortala. But basically, Shakur versus anybody. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum wasn't letting Shakur fight nobody unless he re-signed, and he didn't. So you never know how that may go. We may not see them fight each other, but the fact that Raymond Mortala has that on his mind, I love it. And if you know, some years back, if you've been following the fighters and following boxing, you know that Raymond Mortala said that he didn't want to fight Keyshawn. It's not that he didn't want to fight him, but he said he's not going to waste his time with Keyshawn. He did say a waste of time because Keyshawn didn't have much, so that fight wasn't worth anything. So he's like, let's fight when we both have titles. And it's so funny that Keyshawn actually got the title first, you know, the WBO title after beating Denise Baranchik, and Raymond Mortala is in position to acquire a title himself in the scenario that he beats Zaur Abduliev, and the scenario that Lomachenko vacates, or he fights Lomachenko and he beats Lomachenko. Then that would be a good unification match. And like I said, they're both on top rank. They both share a common promoter, right? They have a commonality in promoters under Bob Arum's top rank. So that fight, in theory, should be easily facilitated, right? You know, so we'll see how that goes, man. I think Raymond Mortala versus Keyshawn Davis is a great fight. I have Keyshawn Davis beating him, but I think that's a great fight, man. I think that's a great fight. Stylistically, I think Keyshawn Davis would beat Raymond Mortala, but you never know, man. You never know. He said, Abdul Rahim, the Grand Prix tomorrow. Yes, sir. He said, I've been looking for a boxing schedule this year. What are you looking at this year for 2025? What fight am I looking forward to this year? That I know is gonna, that I feel is gonna happen, or fights that I want. I want Tank and Shakur. I want Tank versus Loma. I'm not sold that any of these fights happen. But a fight that I know that's happening, that I want to happen, I'm looking forward to, is Beterbiev and Bivol trilogy, or Bivol versus Beterbiev. I'm looking forward to that fight, and I'm looking forward to Canelo versus Bud. I got Canelo winning, but I think that that's a fight that people, you're on two ends, right? Either you think Bud's gonna easily beat Canelo, which I disagree with, or you think Canelo's going to easily beat Bud, which I also disagree with. I think Canelo's going to win, but I think Bud has a good chance, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that fight, the intrigue, but I do think that Canelo's going to win. But like I said, I like when guys and girls go for greatness, right? They strive for greatness, and I'm interested in seeing Bud try. So I'm looking forward to that fight, and let me see what else. What other fight am I looking forward to? I am looking forward to any fight that's involving a belt at 154, because that division is hot, you know. So any fight that's involving a belt at 154, I'm looking forward to. That division is hot, man. I'm not really hard to please when it comes to boxing, man. You know, I like a lot of boxing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Bam Rodriguez and Fumaleli Cafu, the American champion versus the South African champion, respectively. If that could happen, that'd be a unification fight, so that'd be great. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking for potentially Juto Nakatani to unify at 118 with Ryosuke Nishida. Looks like that's coming into fruition. I'm looking forward to maybe I'm hearing about Gary Anton Russell versus Alberto Puello. You know, I'm looking forward to that potentially happening for a rematch and a unification, so that'd be good at 140. I'm looking forward to potentially getting a Zerto Ramirez and Ja Pataya unification at cruiserweight. So I'm looking forward to this undisputed matchup between Usyk and Dubois. So there's a lot of fights I'm looking forward to. Hell, I'm looking forward to Cinnamon versus William Skull for undisputed at 168. So there's a lot of fights I'm looking forward to, man. You think Bob gonna set that fight up? I don't see it happening. I'm with you, TM. I don't think so, man. I don't think Bob's gonna let that happen. And if it does happen, it'll be because Keyshawn and Raymond Mortala both. Sorry. It's because Keyshawn I think, because I think Keyshawn will be the favorite, right, TM? So I think if that fight happens, it'll be because Keyshawn has signed and committed to Top Rank for long term, and I'm not sure Keyshawn's going to do that. You know, if Raymond Murataya commits long term and Keyshawn does it, I don't think that fight happens, because I think that the general consensus would be that Keyshawn will win that fight. So I think that Bob wants to keep his belts like he usually does in-house, which a lot of promoters do. I'm not demonizing or villainizing Bob Arum for doing that. All, you know, PBC does it, Golden Boy does it, Matchroom does it, whatever, you know, Queensberry does it. So I think that the only way we get that fight is if one or two scenarios, they both commit to Top Rank long term, or I could see it happening if Keyshawn commits to Top Rank long term. And let's say Raymond Murataya wants to leave, I definitely think the fight will happen then, because I think Bob Arum will be like, okay, bet, Keyshawn, excuse me, let's try to get this belt up off him before he leaves. So, but I don't see Raymond Murataya leaving. But you never know. I mean, he could go to Golden Boy, right? Because you know I've seen them in the gym working together before too. Some Golden Boy fighters and Raymond Murataya, right? So you know there's affiliation there. So maybe you never know. But yeah, no, I don't really think it's happening. And let's be fair too, right? Zaur Abduliev, he has a chance to win, bro. It ain't like, oh, Raymond Murataya has a walk in the park. I do think Raymond Murataya should win. He should be the favorite, rightfully so. And I think he beats Abduliev, but you know, you never know, man. That's why we got to settle it in the ring, because hey, man, you got to fight, bro. We've seen upsets before. They have a category for upset of the year. So, dude, I'm with you on that though, TM. I don't think it happens. He said Junto unifying against who? You mean Ishida unifying? Man, stop it, bro. Get out, bro. Come on, man. Yeah, somebody get Oscar up out of here. This man said Nishida about to beat my boy Junto, man. Stop playing, man. Hey, when Junto wins, I'm gonna make Junto the next emote. Big Junto. I'm gonna try to design it and make and put like Big Junto on there. You know what I'm saying? Junto's back. Junto's back. But yeah, man. And speaking of some other drama, man, did y'all see the this is getting kind of exhausting, man. Shout out to the ladies, man. One time for the ladies, you feel me? Of boxing, but you know, Amanda Serrano, I'm not gonna lie, bro. You know I like Clarissa Shields. You know she's the GOAT, but I also like Amanda Serrano. I like Katie Taylor. I'm not the biggest fan of Amanda Serrano though, because I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like she's sneaky, man. I don't really, in this day and age, it's okay. It's not okay. You know, you shouldn't be talking trash too much, but it's okay to talk trash, but don't try to throw stones and hide your hand. You know what I'm saying? I'll at least respect it if you be like, yeah, I said that. Yeah, I did that. But she be doing a lot of sneak dissing, man. And I think that Clarissa Shields, because she's more aggressive in nature, because she's more confrontational, a lot of people give her a bad rap of starting a lot of stuff that she really doesn't start. Now, could she learn to probably benefit from letting some things slide a bit? Yeah, of course. You don't have to embrace everything or engage in everything. And I'm working on that myself as well. But people try to make it seem like, oh, she's attacking everybody. No, she is not, man. If you pay attention, when I pay attention pretty good, gosh dang well. You know, Alicia Bumgarner is another one who does it. I like Alicia Bumgarner, though. I like Katie Taylor. I like Chantel Cameron. I like Gabriella Fedora is probably my favorite. Gabriella Fedora, Clarissa Shields are probably my two favorite. But, you know, Amanda Serrano, I feel like I've always noticed that about her. She just seems like a little, one of them little prissy girls that try to act like they don't do nothing wrong, you know what I'm saying? But they really be gosh dang evil. You know, I'm not saying she's evil, but, you know, she really does do a lot of things and go sideways at a lot of people. But they try to act like, oh, she's so righteous and stuff like that. And I just don't really like her antics. Like even when she was talking about she was getting some reading in about something, and she was reading an art about women's boxing, how great it is, and it was a picture of her reading a book about an article about herself. And, you know, it just shows you that like there's just different ways that people go about it. Do I think that she's do I think that Clarissa Shields is kind of full of herself too? Yeah, but I think Amanda Serrano is also very full of herself too, if not more. She just goes about it in a different way to where people are more responsive to it, or receptive to it, and are more accepting of it. But yeah, I don't think that she doesn't rub me as a nice person at all. And then they're going back and forth. It's very exhausting. But you know, now I think Carolyn Dubois was defending Clarissa Shields and some others because somebody made like a little article that had some type of of course, I don't know why people like, you know, it's just people that are very insecure with themselves, and you can't just talk trash without getting sexist or racist or discriminatory in some way, man. Just talk about the individual, man. Don't make it something else, but like someone put some pictures out that look very racist in nature. You know what I'm saying? In regards, they depicted Christian Shields as a big mouth, freaking gosh dang minstrel show character. You know, back look like a racist as a 1920 newspaper type stuff, and you know, I thought it was wrong. Now Amanda Serrano them didn't do it themselves, but they were, you know, they were pushing it and stuff like that. So they're shooting it down, and Alicia Bumgarner was too. And she, you know, I thought that was very. I don't know. I thought that was wrong of her anyway. But, you know, everybody got their beef and stuff like that. I still like Alicia Bumgarner. I'm looking forward to her fight against Miranda. Who's she fighting again? Jennifer Miranda. I'm looking forward to Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor 3. I'm looking forward to Sharetta Metcalf versus Dina Thorsland. All those are exceptional women on an exceptional card. All women card I think is dope, man. But, yeah, I'm just tired of seeing them beefing, man. I just wish that they wouldn't beef because I think it's just force people to pick sides, and you know, people are childish. People love the beef and the drama. You know what I'm saying, like a soap opera. But it is what it is, man. They've been beefing for a long time. It's just getting old to me. But one time for the ladies though. He said what? When he said, yo, shout out to my guy Big Dog Jake Paul chased the bag tank Willie in the building, man. Big Dog Willie in the building, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter.
These biscuits.
He said Schofield is the most honest. Hey, you trolling. You trolling. Will boxing scores cards will be transparent and not biased? Will boxing scorecards be transparent and not biased? Yeah, when you have open scoring, I mean, you know, judges are always gonna. I mean, that's a problem with boxing. You know, judges. You know. Judges gonna be judges, man. Refs gonna be refs. You know how it goes. Promoters gonna be promoters. You hope it's all even, but it is what it is in that regard. But as long as it's open scoring, then that's cool. I like open scoring. I don't mind open scoring, but it shouldn't be open scoring for one fighter when it's close scoring for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? That was the problem in Saudi Arabia where at one time with Turkey Al Sheikh and gosh dang Hamza Shiraz and Carlos Adames. That was a problem. It wasn't a problem that people have problems with open scoring. It's the fact that you disclose the scores when it was close scoring. You know what I'm saying? You only did it for one fighter, you know, and that happened to be the ambassador of Riyadh season. That was a very bad look, but I still like Turkey Al Sheikh. Players mess up too. So shout out to my guy Oscar. He says, Clarissa is in a bad position because if she responds, they're going to be on her head top. Yeah, facts. And but at the same time, you have to be the bigger person though, Oscar. She cannot respond in a racist way because, bro, look when people come to my stream and they call me names. I don't respond in a racist way because, like I said, I never want to talk trash to and accidentally offend people that I did not mean to. You know what I'm saying? So if I talk trash about somebody for being white or black or Hispanic or a boy or a girl, then that means I'm talking trash about everybody by default that has that characteristic in common with them. I'm way too intelligent for that. You know what I'm saying? I talk about the individual, not the person as a whole. And then to me, when you have to attack a whole group of people, when you're trying to actually attack one person, it just shows your lack of intelligence and your lack of creativity in your insults. And you're just not clever. Let's be honest. Right, so 2 cents in the building. So Big Dog Willie says Schofield is the most honest dad in boxing. Nah, man, I got to go to my boy Trio Bill. You know what I'm talking about, Trio Bill. But Schofield, man, Big Dog Willie, bro. Well, get your boy, man. I done told you yesterday to get your boy, man. Schofield Senior, he's assassinating, single-handedly destroying, ruining Kid Austin's career, man. Like, I don't even know what else to say, man. I'm just kind of tired of talking about old boy. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, he's just 2.5 million after you just ducked the hell out of Shakur. You want 2.5 M's? And you know me, I don't be pocket watching, bro. I'll be telling people how much they should get. Get the money that you deserve, that you could get. Whatever you feel like you could get. But you can't say that after you just had a performance against Renee Tellez-Garon where you look pedestrian at best, and then you can't tell me that when you, after ducking Shakur Stevenson, that you want to get 2.5 million for fighting a prospect. I'm all for getting your money, baby, but at the same time, I'm not oblivious to the fact that overpricing yourself severely, significantly, ridiculously is another form of avoiding a fight. And that's what I think he's doing. You know, that's why he tried to pretend like, oh, I got to tell social media, you know, before the story gets out there that we were offered a fight to fight Abdullah Mason. And yeah, we accepted, but it's for 2.5 million. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. So basically you telling us that you probably most likely agreed to a price yesterday, and then now you up the price today after you thought about it and slept on it and realized that your son probably gonna get his ass kicked. So all that bravado and all that talk about being so confident in Kid Austin, you're kind of not. It seems like you're just trying to cash out, which I'm not knocking. You didn't mean get your money. That's what you're in the business for. But I have confidence in Kid Austin. It seems like I have more confidence in you, because every time you talk, you're talking about how you did Tank dirty in sparring, how you did Shakur dirty in sparring, how you did Devin Haney dirty in sparring, how you was willing to fight Zepeda, how you did Abdullah Mason in sparring. And then when stuff comes, when the shit hits the fan, you're not really about that life. I think Kid Austin and Abdullah Mason is a very good fight. Hell, I would even say that I'm not mad at him for turning down the fight right now, because I think that potentially that could be a potential, I ain't gonna say super fight, but a big fight later on. As long as they keep on the same trajectory, the current trajectory of winning and winning and winning, then I think later on that fight makes more sense and it'll be a good fight. But at the same time, you can't tell me that you want to fight these people and then every time you have the opportunity to fight these people, somehow, some way you wiggle up out of there. I'm not trying to hear. I'm not going, man. I'm not going, man. So it is what it is, man. Riyadh season wanted Shiraz to win. That's a fact, Abdul. That's a fact. That's a fact. We got 2 cents in the building. We got Kendrick in the building, big member in the building. Yeah, man. Like, that's like doing a no call, no show, and asking for a raise the next day. Right, bro. Auntie Uncle Hofield wilding on that one. Yeah, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, he's making, you know me, I'm not hard on the fathers, you know what I'm saying? But he's definitely he's definitely in the same group as Teofimo Sr., man. Maybe some seniors. I don't know, you know. Teofimo Lopez Sr., Floyd Schofield Sr., Brian Norman Sr. is looking a little shaky lately. You know what I'm saying? I give him the benefit of the doubt too, but I'm on the fence with him. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he better tighten up too. But you know, they have some good fathers out there. Like I said, I think Floyd Mayweather and Roger Mayweather, even though that's his uncle, rest in peace, and Floyd Mayweather Sr., that's a good combo. Danny Garcia, Angel Garcia is a good combo. Kenny Porter, Sean Porter is a good combo. The Inoues, you know, Shingo Inoue and Takuma Inoue, and Naya Inoue and Koki Inoue, the cousin. It's a good combination. Lomachenko and Papachenko. You know, who else we got? We got a lot of good father-son combinations. And, you know, say Robert Garcia, Mikey Garcia, they're brothers, but that's a good combination. You know, that counts. Family business, you know. So I'm trying to think who else. Devin Haney and Bill Haney, despite popular popular opinion, I think that's a good father-son combination. Who else? Yeah, but you get the point, man. There's a lot of good ones out there, man. But, you know, Schofield and Teofimo Lopez Sr., I think that there are examples of terrible ones. I'm not talking about them being fathers. I can't speak on them being a father. I'm talking about being the combination of a father trainer. As a trainer, they're terrible. You know what I'm saying? I think that they give nothing but negative press for their sons, and people won't want to deal with that stuff, man. I've never heard of you put money on wood is good. Put the money on the wood, everything good. You know what I'm talking about? That's an old saying. You know what I'm saying? Put the money down, Oscar. You feel me? Put the money on the wood, man. So I get what he's saying, but he got to have some self-awareness. You can't be saying that, man, with your tendencies. You know what I'm talking about? And you shouldn't talk about not nan wood. You know what I'm talking about? Because somebody might take it out of context. Because you out there looking crazy and talking crazy, then you out here talking about wood.
No, did he?
You feel me? Yeah, nah, you better, hey. Last time you made a sexual reference was with the cream and your son almost died. You know what I'm saying? Talking about your Shakur and the masseuse conjured up a plan to put cream on your son's face.
What do you mean by that?
You messed around and almost died in Saudi Arabia. Man, tighten up, man. He said, I never heard of you put money on the wood is good. Who does this guy think he is, P. Diddy or what? Hi, everyone. How are y'all doing? Abdul Rahim. Will we see the best 5 US 5 versus UK 5? I don't know. He said, which weight division? Blessings, greetings, love. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. I don't know, man. I think the next 5v5 that we get is probably going to be either a rematch of Queensberry and Matchroom or maybe Matchroom and Golden Boy. I don't really see us doing like, I mean, that's the closest we'll get to America and UK, right? Matchroom and Golden Boy. But even then, you know, Matchroom has some American fighters. I don't really think Golden Boy has any English fighters. But Matchroom definitely has an English and American fighter, so I don't think it'll be strictly the USA nation versus the England nation, you know, or UK, you know, rather all the UK versus USA. I don't foresee that happening, but maybe, you know, you never know, because like if Eddie Hearn does a 5v5, I would find it hard to believe that he wouldn't have Jesse Bam Rodriguez in there, who's American, Jerome Boots Ennis in there, who's American. Jai Apataya in there, who's Australian. Shit, hell. Well, hey, Eddie Hearn he may not have an English fighter on there. You know, that's crazy. That's what's crazy. He may not have one fighter from the UK. What you talking about? His best. Who's his best fighter for the UK? Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's probably his best fighter from the UK, right? Am I tripping? Let me think. Eddie Hearn, because Dimitri Bivol. That's crazy, bro. Eddie Hearn is from England. Ain't now one of his fighters that are his top fighters from England. Like I said, Anthony Joshua. That's the only exception, right? And that's a pretty good exception, right? So his best fighters are probably Jerome Boutsenis, Bam Rodriguez, Dimitri Bivol, Ja Pataya, Anthony Joshua. And only one of them are from the UK. That's crazy, bro. You know, he got the electrician. Hey, man, put some respect on Josh Padley, man. You disrespectful, man. Come on, man. This man called him the electrician, man. Come on, bro. Like the accountant or something. Like he in a movie with Ben Affleck, man. Come on, man. You disrespectful, man.
Here you go. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You know the man's name, man. Joshua Paddy Padley, man. Put some respect on old Paddy, man. Come on, man. Patty Cake. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to call him Patty Cake. Joshua Fury or finish. I don't want to see that dead fight. You don't want to see it? I want to see that fight still. I'll be cool to see that fight. I'm not hard-pressed to see it. 2 sets of hell, no. I'm not hard-pressed to see Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, but I wouldn't be mad to see that fight. I still think they have some more to give to the sport. I definitely think they're on the decline, but they're not like so far gone like Deontay Wilder or something like that. You know, Deontay Wilder, I don't want to see him fight anymore. No disrespect, and this is not disrespectful to him. I'm saying for his own welfare and well-being, I don't think he should box anymore because he hasn't looked the same. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have slowed down a bit, but I still think that Anthony Joshua would be the favorite to fight against a lot of heavyweights right now. I still think Tyson Fury would be the favorite to fight against a lot of heavyweights right now too. You know, I don't think anybody would have Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury the favorite against Usyk, obviously, because they both lost to him. Daniel Dubois, obviously, you know, Anthony Joshua lost to him, but Anthony Joshua could Ajit Caballero. That's a good fight. I would lean towards Caballero because I think Ajit is legit, but that's a good fight though. You know, Tyson Fury and Ajit Caballero, that's a good fight. You know, who else? Philip Hergovich and Anthony Joshua. I would actually lean towards Anthony Joshua. Efe Jagba, Anthony Joshua. I would have Anthony Joshua. Zayde Zhang and Anthony Joshua. I would have Anthony Joshua. Joseph Parker and Anthony Joshua. I would have Anthony Joshua beating him again. You know, Tyson Fury versus everybody I just named. I would have Tyson Fury beating them as well. Efe Jagba, Joseph Parker. Which they would never fight because they're friends, right? Who else I said? Yeah, Philip Hergovich. I got Tyson Fury. So they're not so far gone where they're not serviceable anymore. You know, they're still good. They're just not as good as they were in their peak. So I'm interested in them fighting still, but I'm not hard. If it doesn't happen, I'm not going to be upset. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in that fight. Yes, sir. Shout out to my guy Oscar, man, dropping that bread, that cheese, that butter. Yes, sir, man. Dropping that graffiti on the chat walls, man. I appreciate that. He said, if you play that disrespect video, that's Padley when he got called in the... He got called into work and said, hold on, man, I'm a millionaire, man. That's so disrespectful.
Here you go. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful. You done hit me in my mouth with some goddamn money.
They trying to throw money to get my boy back at work as an electrician, man. My boy said he good. Hey, I just saw Joshua Padley. Hey, I know y'all ain't watching, but I watched it. Joshua Padley is fighting, who's he fighting? I don't remember who he's fighting, but he's fighting on that Dalton Smith versus Jermaine Matthew undercard, right? I was watching the press conference earlier today, and shout out to Josh Padley, man. You know, he said he's not working as an electrician anymore, man. He said, I got that guap, that moolah, man. He's good. He got signed to Matchroom, man. Shout out to him. That's a very good heartwarming story, man. You know, that's why you never know when you get that call, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake, hotline blinging, man. You never know. So just keep doing what you're doing, whatever you're doing. And you never know, man, when things might just change for you. It may seem like it just changed in a snap, but all that work that you put in, hey, it's all progress. It's all progress. So you just never know when you might get that phone call or that person that might jump in your in your chat, wink wink, you know what I'm saying, or you might get that interview, you know what I'm saying, that'll put you over the top, or you might get that promotion. You just never know, man. So keep working, don't get discouraged. It's easy to get discouraged, especially when you compare yourself to other people and think about the positions that you feel you should be in, but you never know people's journey, man. So just keep hustling, man. Keep hustling. You know, that's what we do around here. We get the hustle off the muscle, so it's easy for us. So just keep hustling, man. Keep hustling. It's gonna be good. Man. But yeah, man, I think that Josh Padley, man, I think he's gonna do. I have high hopes for Paddy too. I'm not sure he's gonna be a champion, but I definitely think that he's gonna be a nice contender. 135 is very hard to see him becoming a champion. I'm not gonna lie, unless some people move up. But you just never know, bro. You know, who would have saw Anthony Kakasi being a? I no disrespect to Anthony Kakasi. I'm just saying, who saw that coming? You know, he was an IBF champion at 130 till he vacated to go fight Leigh Wood, right, for a more lucrative fight, right? Who saw I don't know, Denise Baranchek. He came out of nowhere and beat Emmanuel Navarrete for a vacant title at 135. Who saw that coming? So you just never know, man. Look at Rayo. Shout out to my boy Jose Rayo Valenzuela, the Lightning. He became a champion beating Isa Pitbull Cruz. You know, that was an upset. You know, look at Liam Parle. People thought I was crazy when I said Liam Parle would beat Subra Matias. And look what he did. He came from Australia, from down under, went to the hometown of Puerto Rico, and took that boy's belt. You feel me? So shout out to Subra Matias. I still think he could bounce back and become a champion again. But yeah, so you know, just why we watch boxing. So you never know, man. The unthinkable, the unheard of happens. Even Josh Padley already upset Mark Thunder Chamberlain, right? So that's why he was put on the map. So you just never know, man. My guy Ty in the building. Every day I'm hustling. Big member in the building. Shakur Kid Austin changed his life. That's crazy. That's true. You're right. Shakur and Kid Austin. You ain't lying. You ain't for sure Kid Austin. Hey, that's what I'm saying. And one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? You might talk trash about Kid Austin, but hey, if Kid Austin didn't get sick, Josh Padley wouldn't have been. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Just keep on hustling, man. Whether it's in academia, whether it's in the corporate world, whether it's in your own business, entrepreneurial endeavor, whatever it is, man. You just feel like you stuck in some what's the word for? You stuck in some freaking bush, you know what I'm saying, or you stuck in place, man. Just keep going, man. Just keep going, because you never know, bro. A whole lot of things had to go down. Think about it, Kendrick. Not even that. He could even thank Zepeda, right? Because Zepeda was supposed to get the fight. Matter of fact, let's go back even further than that, Kendrick. Shakur was supposed to fight Joe Cordina because Zepeda pulled out, right? Then Shakur hurt his hand. You know what I'm saying? So Josh Padley could thank Shakur's injury. You know, what about Bob Arum not giving Shakur Lomachenko? So that prompted Shakur Stevenson to leave and go to Matchroom. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Eddie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shakur. Shout out to Bob Arum, you know, for Josh Padley. So all these things, man, you just never know, man. All these dominoes have to fall into place and fall in line for these things to work out, man, you know. Divine intervention, man. We might think of something happening spontaneously, but man, that was years in the making for Josh Padley to get this opportunity. Now he ain't got to do nothing about KCL or KVL, you know what I'm saying, or P equals IV or V equals IR or no other. Well, I guess that's electrical engineering, not really being an electrician. But he ain't got to worry about doing no hardware, no diagrams, no mo. You feel me? So, yep, true. A lot of things happened leading up to. Yeah. Yep, and even him beating Mark Thunder Chamberlain, you know, respect Zepeda, bro. He's changing people's lives by ducking. That's crazy. He said Chamberlain couldn't stop Padley, but Shakur did. I don't think Shakur punched off like some people think. I agree with that, TM. Hold on, man. I'll be right back. Let me go blow my nose real quick. I'll be right back. Let me run this ad real quick. I'll be right back.
Yo, Doc here from your favorite boxing channel, Dr. Boxing Talk. And I want to officially welcome you as a member to the Boxing Talk family, aka BTF. So I want to thank you. Your support is greatly appreciated, and this channel is nothing without you. So what do you get? Well, there's a multitude of perks that you get access to, like special member shoutouts when you enter the chat, and some other additional alerts. Not to mention these fire emojis. Yeah, access to emojis like the GOAT, the GOAT, the face of boxing, the legend, the Ayo, and the No Diddy. Not to mention, you know, the GTD chain. You got to bring them out, and it wouldn't be the same if we forgot about these biscuits. And so many more. Not to mention, if you subscribe to some of the highest tier levels, you get to do things like pick the topic of discussion, and you get to have your very own emote. Yes, your ugly mug will be featured on the channel by yours truly. It's just another way for me to give back to my most loyal supporters. And of course, there's even more additional perks than that. But most importantly, you'll get the satisfaction of knowing you're a key, essential, imperative part to keep us going and growing. You know, we get the hustle off the muscle, so it's important that we rock together, you know? And remember, God is good all the time, and God is good. And you know that we prioritize facts over feelings, so that's why you rock with us. So big salute from Dr. Boxing Talk, and yeah, can't wait to see you in the next stream. Thank you for the support.
If I tell you I'm good, probably you will say I'm boasting. If I tell you I'm no good, you know I'm lying.
Oh man, my bad, y'all. I had to go grab a tissue and all that good stuff. My fault, y'all. I'm back. What was I saying though? I don't even remember what I was saying, man. He said, oh yeah, TM said Chamberlain couldn't stop Padley, but Shakur, yeah, he couldn't even beat Padley, right? But Shakur did. Yeah, I don't think Shakur punches soft. It's like Floyd Mayweather, right? TM, this is what I've been saying about Floyd, right? I'm not saying Shakur and Floyd are the same type of fighter or the same caliber of fighter. My point is that people don't just run down on Floyd. People say, oh yeah, Floyd doesn't hit hard. Every time he fought somebody, whether it was Sugar Shane, whether it was Ricky Hatton, whether it was Oscar De La Hoya, well, Oscar De La Hoya did run down on him, I ain't gonna lie. But people aren't just walking through his punches, so they definitely feel his punches. Is he a knockout artist? Nah. But I think people feel Shakur's punches. How much will they feel it? If somebody has a chin like Subriel Matias, or somebody is known for having a good chin like, I don't know, give me somebody else in that division that's pretty known for having a decent chin. The Javier Herrera guy. Now, he hasn't fought anybody that's high caliber, but that last time he was fighting him, he was taking some shots and he was walking through him. Now, will he be able to deter somebody like that who approaches with reckless abandon, and they're approaching with a type of mindset to where they're not going to be easily deterred? Can he push them off him? I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't think Shakur hits soft at all. Now, is he a big puncher though? No. But does he hit soft? Nah, I think you feel his punches for sure. You know, I don't think he's just walking through his punches. He said, Abdul says, what attributes combined together from each boxers would you put together to make the complete fighter? He said, Moses and Thomas shouldn't be rushed. Ease him ease him along like Abdullah Mason. Yep. It's because he could easily be done like Jared. Yep, that's true. Yeah, he's only 20 years old too, Moses Atama. He said, what did he ask now? Abdul Rahim be asking a lot of questions, boy. You gonna have to super chat these things. He said, what attributes combined together from each boxers would you put together to make the complete fighter? Hey, man, I was watching this, man. I thought Usyk had a great answer for heavyweights. Man, I thought he put together a great fighter, man. I said, man, shout out to Usyk, man. That's how you know he's really good. He said Derek Chisora's chin. I said, yo, the fact that he even put Derek Chisora on there, I said, that's dope. But he mostly kept it heavyweight. But yeah, man, if I'm taking all the fighters or just a particular division, I'm gonna say all the fighters. I would say intelligence in the ring. I would say Floyd. I would say power. I would say either Deontay Wilder. I would say explosiveness. I would say Tyson. Footwork. I would say Ali or Usyk. I'm gonna go with Ali. Chin, I'm going with Cinnamon. Canelo. Jab, I'm going with Vladimir Klitschko. Defense, I'm going with Floyd again. Reflexes, I don't know. Agility, like quickness, I might go with Pacquiao. Pacquiao got them calves. He be jumping. Boom, 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 ba ba boom, ba ba boom. Or Bivol good too, but I'll go with Pacquiao. Speed, probably Amir Khan. Or maybe Floyd again. I'll go with Amir Khan. What else I missed, chat? Defense, I got that. Footwork, I said that. Intelligence, I said that. Jab, I said that. Power, I said that. Yeah, I think I covered everything. Oh, what about promotion? Like personality? Probably Ali. Canelo or Julio Cesar Chavez for chin? I'm going with Canelo. And if you put the letter backwards, King Usyk. Hey. KU, King Usyk. UK, Usyk Kingdom. KU, King Usyk. Yep. What else? Oh, reflexes, like athleticism. I guess that's explosiveness, right? I already said Mike Tyson. Agility, I went with Pacquiao. That way Pacquiao hit you for the left, hit you for the right. You know what I'm saying? Quick as hell. Yeah, I go with Pacquiao on that one. Something like that, man. Let me see. He said because Matias is decent but beatable. Talk to him, Ty. Talk to him, Ty. But yeah, man, there's a lot of. That's a good question though, Abdul. That's a good question. Keep the questions coming, man. I might not catch all of them, but some of them I'll see. And the reason why I say super chat is because you be switching the topic. like you a member or something. You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man. So what else was I gonna tap into? I made the correction already. Oh, that WBC Grand Prix, bro. If y'all watched that thing, oh my goodness, the WBC Grand Prix was lit, bro. I was watching that thing, man. I fell asleep. They was fighting. I woke back up. They was still fighting. You know, I said I took me a little power nap. You know what I'm talking about? Them boys was fighting, man. Shout out to the WBC Grand Prix, man. I don't know. It was even better than what I thought. When's the next one gonna be, Oscar? I think the next one's tomorrow, right? I'm not sure, but they definitely, man. I will say it made me think. I was like, bro, if this is what the TKO league is gonna look like, man, it's a little promising now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I don't like Dana White, and I don't trust him at all, but if it could look something like this WBC Grand Prix, bro, that may be in trouble. And I can't say they'll be in trouble because we have the WBC Grand Prix, and these are all relatively unknown fighters, up and coming prospects, and they look good, man. But you definitely got to fight. The matchmaking on this is impeccable. There definitely is some good fights, and I'm not gonna lie, man. That Grand Prix was something else, bro. If fighters don't want to do it after this inaugural one, I don't blame them because they have some tough matchups. It's only going to get worse, right? Because the winner moves on. So, hey, this Grand Prix has been looking great. I love it, man. I love it, man. Meaning tomorrow, light heavyweights. Ooh, light heavyweights tomorrow. Ooh, yeah, because today was what? It was mostly 126, right? What divisions they do today? Well, he said, Super featherweight. Yeah, okay, yeah. Super featherweight was today. Okay, so super featherweight. I remember. Yeah, super featherweight and featherweight. Right. He said tomorrow. He said Whitaker predictions. Oh, okay. I thought you say Whitaker precision. Prediction. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure you meant. I don't know what precision is. You had my mind going crazy. I was like precision. But yeah, I think that the Grand Prix is dope, man. I was like precision, prediction, persecution, prediction. Yeah, that should have been the. Okay, I got you though. I was tripping. I got Yeah, that Grand Prix fire though, man. You know, light heavyweights tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna be tapping into that. Who do I got tomorrow, man? So who is on that card, Kendrick? Besides Liam Cameron and Ben Whitaker and Liam Cameron. Someone else is on that card too. I forgot though. Let me look it up real quick. But I got Ben Whitaker UD, Kendrick. I got Ben Whitaker by UD. But I'm rooting for Liam Cameron though. You know, they finally said that it's a 10-round fight. You know, they finally said it's a 10-round fight, which is ridiculous. Which is another reason why it just seems like a lot of shenanigans and a lot of BS that's going on with this fight, man. But yeah, I got Ben Whitaker winning. I think he's gonna outbox him. I think he's a better boxer, and usually the rematches benefit the better boxer. So I got Ben Whitaker winning, but I'm rooting for Liam Cameron to win. Oh yeah, Frazier Clark versus Ebenezer Teta. Yeah, that's nothing. Frazier Clark should win that one easily. But you never know, man. Ebenezer could knock his behind out. Oh, Tyler Denny's on this card. Tyler Denny, last time we saw him, he lost to Hamza Shiraz. Hamza Shiraz made quick work of him in like 2 rounds. Let's see. Yeah, but what about you? What you think? What you think? What you think, Kendrick? Yeah, I got Liam Cameron, man. I mean, sorry, I got Ben Whitaker, but I'm rooting for Liam Cameron. I'm hoping that Liam Cameron could show that wasn't no fluke, bro. But I think Ben Whitaker is gonna win. But that's just my personal opinion. I got Ben Whitaker by UD. I think he's gonna outbox him. But yeah, man, I'm about to go ahead and call it. He said Hector Munguia Jr. one to watch. Yeah, I saw that fight. Jermaine Hardison lost. He was a highly talked prospect. He couldn't deal with the pressure though. You got Ben as well. Yeah, Kendrick. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, but that guy, that Jermaine Hardison guy, he was he just turned pro. Like he just picked up boxing in 2023. That's what I was like, bro, and he's already pro. I said, man, that's why you got to take your time, dog, you know. And shout out to him, though. You know, he wasn't scared. He was ambitious. But you got to take your time. You got to have a good team around you. I don't think he should have joined this Grand Prix. He just turned pro in 2023. Sorry. No, worse than that. He just picked up boxing in 2023. That's 2 years ago, chat. So ain't no telling. If he would have picked up boxing in 2023, there's no telling what month. If he picked it up in like August or September, October, he's been boxing for not even 2 years, a year and a half. And you're already in a Grand Prix. Granted, I'm not saying don't take your shot. I get it. You know what I'm saying? This is a opportunity of a lifetime. But you can't rush things sometimes, man. That's why you got to have a good team around you. In my opinion, he should not have been in that Grand Prix. Once I found out that he was a freaking just picked up boxing in 2023, bro, that's crazy. The fact that he's even in there is crazy. He should still be in the amateur circuit. Well, I'm not going to say he should be in the amateur circuit, but, you know, just take him along nicely because this still goes against your record, right? So now he done took an L that it probably could have been avoided because I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching that fight, that guy had Jermaine Hardison. He was taking some good shots, you know. And the guy that he was fighting, Bolano or whatever, you could just tell he was just more seasoned than him, you know. But I think Hardison had a better raw skill, but it's just, hey, it's not just about raw skill, right? So, But I'm about to go ahead and call it though, Oscar. Yeah, I'm about to go. I was gonna open the Discord, but I'm about to call it, bro. And, you know, call it a little early tonight, man. Try to see if I can get rid of this gosh dang illness. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you asking though. Unless you want to chop it up about a particular point, you know, I could never say no to my bro. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I was gonna go ahead and call it, man. I don't want to be on too long, so long. You feel me? You did me so wrong. I don't wanna go on. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, we gonna be on tomorrow morning, good Lord willing. Yes, sir. It's this man Ty looking. What happened, Ty? What happened, bro? What I do now, bro? You got the eyes looking like that, bro. This man Oscar said you want to chop it up real quick. We gonna chop it up, man. You got 10 minutes, my boy. It's what, 8:50? You got till 9 o'clock, my boy. You feel me, my boy? You got till 9 o'clock, my boy. I could never tell my brother no, man. It's my brother, man. You got till 9 o'clock, my boy. And then we gonna go ahead and slide. Give me some rest, boy. Your boy tired, man. I'm tired. I don't know why I be so freaking. I mean, I know why. I'll be waking up early, but going to bed late. But I got to get back and do my muscle ups. Gotta do some more muscle ups. You feel me? Yo.
How you gonna work out if you sick?
I haven't been working. Well, I worked out yesterday lightly. I need to work out more, man. I'm mad at myself. I haven't been working out this week, man. I think I worked out like 2 or 3 times.
I'll give you the perfect recipe for illness.
What's that? Tequila?
You gonna go? Hell yeah, bro. You take one shot. One shot, bro. One shot. And like if it's like nasal or like throat problems, bro, that shit clear right out.
Yeah. I got some tequila too, because on my grandma's funeral, my cousin brought some. I don't remember what he called.
Oh yeah, I get along with your cousin just fine.
Yeah, he brought some. You probably know. Hold on, let me go see what brand it is. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go tell you. Cause I told him, I said, man, I don't drink that, man. But I'll be right back. I'm gonna tell you right now what it is.
Yeah, Chad, that Grand Prix, oof, that super featherweight, that's a lot of knockouts for it though. I think the ones to watch were, like I said, Hector Munguia Jr. He's just like right there. The pressure's on going. I really doubt a lot of guys starting off will be able to deal with that pressure. Mosquera though, Elias Mosquera, dude, that guy's nice, bro. The timing, the precision, not so much the power punch, like the punch, like I mean the power, but like the punch selection. Oh, yes, Chris, incredible. But like, yeah, I was watching it on the Zone, and you know the commentary, very biased. There was always like the British guys. I can't remember the bald white guy thing, but he was like they were like
It's called Addictivo. You heard of that? Addictivo tequila, Cristalino, something like that.
Oh yeah, that shit ass.
As ass. That's probably why he left it. You know, he had to go. He had to fly though, so he could. He just.
Yeah.
He could.
No, I'm not saying it's ass like it's worse. They're just a lot of better.
Okay.
You know what's happened with tequila? What happens with tequila is the same, and like just to get like touched in some points. I don't want to keep like so much of your time, but like tequila, like a lot of brand names, like Casamigos, Don Julio, 1940 whatever, 1942.
Yep.
I've had them. Like, don't get me wrong, I bought them. I'm an alcoholic by nature, but like, they're not really all that. It's just you're paying more for the bottle.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So the presentation of it, that's what you pay for.
Yeah, like there's one that looks like China. You know what China is, right? Like the base and all that stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's one that is like white and blue with flowers. Bro, there's a tequila called Casa de Dragones. The translation is like House of Dragons. It's just as good, and it's half the price. It's still $80, but from $80 to $200. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got
the House of Dragons. It's even better than it, but like the bottle, it's not the same as the other one because that one looks like China. Like
okay.
That's the decoration.
Right, I got you. Ulster in the building. What's good, bro? He said, shit. Ty said, boo. He said, that thing weak. I got another one in there, Jose Cuervo.
Yeah, that's agave juice. Like, that's 100% agave. There's a thing, Jose Cuervo. People, if you use Jose Cuervo, don't use it for margaritas. That's not what it is for it. You're supposed to bring that straight. That's why
straight.
They say, yeah, bro. Like people say, oh, I mix it with margaritas, and it gave me the worst hangovers. That's why it's not meant for that.
Oh, okay.
Agave juice. Like it used
So they have different
Patron.
tequilas for different purposes. Okay, I didn't know that. Like I said, I don't drink, so not a drinker.
No, not for different purposes. It's just an elaboration. Like some are mixed with, like some had water.
Mm-hmm.
Like they add water, like Patron, like
Right.
Bonitos, and all that stuff. Like Jose Cuervo is 100% agave juice. So it's not so
Okay.
much it's still gonna get you fucked up. But
Right.
the after is gonna feel different.
Okay, I got you. Need that Mexican liquor with the worm. Nah, see, if I see any worms,
Oh,
I'm
that's
pulling it
not.
out.
That's not.
You wild. I ain't gonna lie
Nah,
to you.
shit.
Yeah,
I
I
was
remember
gonna.
when I went to I was in Texas one time, and I got my stuff pops. I saw this. I said, man, I said I couldn't take it. It was alcohol. I couldn't take it on the plane with me or whatever. I don't know why. You know, why couldn't I? I don't remember. But I was like, man, they had a worm, and he was like, yeah, get it for me. I called him. I was like, you want it? He's like, yeah. I said, man, they won't let me take it. But then I saw this tequila flavored lollipop with a worm in there. I said, you want it? He said, hell yeah.
Bro, I swear to God, bro. Like
Bro,
people
yeah.
go to Mexico
Yeah, I said, you wildin', man.
and they these scorpion lollipops.
Come on, man.
And
I said,
cricket,
no. Come on, man.
and
Tequila
the
flavored
crickets out.
lollipop, bro? Nah, with a worm in it, bro? I said, nah, y'all wildin', bro.
Like the only people that buy that shit, you know who it is?
Who's that?
Tourists.
Tourists. Yep, I already know.
Yeah,
I already know.
that's all. The only people that buy that shit is tourists.
Yeah, I know. I already know.
Man, but I was gonna touch up on thing. You know how you were like at the beginning of the stream, you were like, hey, and the people that missed the beginning of the stream. He said mention your top 3 favorite coaches.
Oh, yeah.
NBA.
Mm-hmm.
I still put it down like Ty, Kendrick, Oster that wasn't here.
Yeah. Your top favorite coaches in the NBA, please. Kendrick, Ty,
Yeah.
Oster. Tell me your favorite coaches, bro.
Abdul, because you're asking so many questions.
Yeah, Abdul, everybody. Yeah, everybody, man. Tell me your favorite coaches in the NBA or your favorite trainers in boxing or whatever.
I couldn't really tell you like basketball, but soccer wise,
Uh-huh.
I can tell you like Carleto Ancelotti, Andrea Jardine, Sisu, Juez Zidane. I was gonna tell you straight up, like, and like what exactly what you said. In soccer, it happens the exact same thing.
Of course.
Yeah, there's players in the pitch. There's an exception to this rule, and there's only 3 guys that I know for a fact that did it. But like, there's always this weird thing where a great player cannot transition to a great coach. It never happens.
Yep.
Just 3 times it has happened.
Yep.
There could be a 4th guy happening right now, but like it's still unknown, uncertain. But like it's Carleto Ancelotti. He was a great player on the pitch and a great coach on the side.
Yep.
There's Zinedine Zidane, who was one of the best players at the time, and this was like 2006, 1998, you know.
Yeah.
And he was like the best player in the world, and he transitioned and won 3 Champions League back to back, which is like NBA Finals, 3 NBA Finals back to back to back. And
yes, sir, 3-peat.
Pep Guardiola, who was, you know, he never won anything major, but he was a good player, and he was like, he played for Spain, like nationally. He was always called up, and you know, and it's very hard for you to get a call up in Spain because you got to be one of the best of the best. They always have a good selection of players, and he turned around and changed soccer as we see it.
Okay, that's what's
like,
up, man. Shout down.
And he's still active. This happened recently too. It's not like it happened like 20. No, it's not like it happened 40 years ago.
Right.
It happened like 2014, 2011.
Bullshit.
Till now, it's still going on. Like he's still winning.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's very hard to transition from a great soccer player to a great manager. And I was gonna take it to coaching. Like people saying like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, yes and no. First of all, like I agree 100% with what you said. It's like, bro, you can't even manage your own goddamn life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You can't even manage your goddamn life.
Exactly.
That's first of all. Second of all, like you said it yourself, it's like he wasn't the best shooter. Nor was he like he was probably the greatest fighter. No. I gotta be true to myself. He wasn't all that, and he wasn't bad for a fact, but like he
Right.
wasn't all as a fighter
Right.
compared to like his generation. Yeah, I had to.
Right.
But he could be a good coach, or he could be a bad coach starting up, and he can become great later.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, how do you know?
How do
You
you
gotta
know, bro?
you gotta put him to the fire, bro. And if it bans, then it's good. But if he breaks, that shit's bad. Throw it away.
Exactly. Exactly. You said you guys should show me something, Ty, in the Discord. Okay, bet. He said, I'm a
It better not
DM
be that
you.
bio body.
It's Mickey. I bet. I just scrolled up and saw what you said, man. But yeah, exactly. Bio Brawley is crazy. I just heard what you said, just registered. Yo, but yeah, the reason why I asked that earlier, shout out to Kendrick and Ty. Kendrick says Pop, Phil, Eric Spoelstra. So the reason why I asked that earlier, because I was setting up what I was saying in regards to Devin Haney and Sugar Shane Mosley. People saying, oh, Sugar Shane can't train Devin because he needs a defensive-minded coach because that wasn't the style that Sugar Shane Mosley fought. Bitch, what do you mean that wasn't the style that he fought? Phil Jackson was one of the best head coaches ever. Did he play like Michael Jordan? Did he play like Kobe Bryant? Did he play like Shaq? Hell, did he even start? No. You know what I'm saying? What about, who else did you name? Greg Popovich. Shout out to Greg Popovich. Was he a player like Tim Duncan? Was he offensively gifted like Tim Duncan, or fundamentally sound like Tim Duncan, or explosive like Ginobili, or a point guard like Tony Parker? Nobody trained them fine, right?
No.
And same with Freddie Roach. It's like, did Freddie Roach fight like Manny Pacquiao? Was he as agile or explosive as Manny Pacquiao, or athletic or as powerful a puncher as Manny Pacquiao? Did he go through 8 divisions like Manny Pacquiao? No, like, so it's just so funny that people make these assumptions when they don't like somebody. It's like you're always trying to continuously attack them. It's like, I don't know Sugar Shane Mosley is going to be a good trainer, a defensive trainer, or a good trainer at all. But that doesn't mean that he's incapable of doing it because he didn't fight like that. That's stupid. That's like, so Floyd Mayweather couldn't groom Tank because he wasn't a power puncher like Tank. Cos D'Amato had to be a big, powerful puncher like Mike Tyson in order to train him. What are we talking about, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? And,
He had to be agile.
Yeah, he had to be. Yeah, bro. Like, come on, bro. And then not even that. It's like Sugar Shane Mosley's not even taking the full reigns of being his trainer. He's just somebody brought in to give some tutelage. You don't think Sugar Shane, who's been in there with, right, an advisor. Thank you. So somebody that's been in there with a legend like Saul Canelo Alvarez, with a legend like Floyd Mayweather, with a legend like Vernon Forrest, rest in peace, with a legend like Ricky Wright, with a legend like all these other fighters that he fought. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that he has anything to give or to offer? From a defensive standpoint, or an offensive standpoint, or a boxing standpoint, for hell, from a life standpoint. What about a bounce back standpoint? Sugar Shane Mosley lost. He could teach him how to bounce back and how to handle these demons. There's always advice you could give, bro. Y'all, people look stupid, bro. Go ahead, Oscar. Sorry, go ahead, bro.
Now he took a whooping before he made his bounce back. He got beat bad, honestly. But,
you ain't had to go into detail, bro. You know what I'm saying? We get it, bro. Yeah, you got beat bad.
like dog, but
bad.
You know that.
Mm-hmm.
He got sent to the gulag, like Table said. Ooh, that was bad.
Yep.
But no, like Sugar Shane took advisors as well. Remember, he took Roberto Duran. Remember?
Yep.
He was like in Duran, like you know how Duran can't speak English. It was funny. Like I'll watch that video whenever I want to laugh.
I'm
But
telling
it was like, no, like these.
But yeah, I just don't get it, man. It's like, shout out to Reynoso Jr. I never seen him box before. I mean, I guess he can't train Canelo. I guess Floyd Mayweather Sr. had to be great fighters like Floyd in order to make him, and Roger Mayweather, rest in peace, they had to be great fighters like Floyd in order to train him, and they weren't. So I guess they messed up there. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
Yeah, that's the dumbest shit. Like,
dumbest shit ever, bro. Dumbest shit ever, bro.
Even in boxing, like not to burn thing, he's one of the greatest Mexican trainers of all time.
Yep.
He never boxed. He got hurt. Like his shoulder got hurt. And he had like a cataract on his eye. He couldn't fight.
Talk to him.
But he's one of the greatest trainers. He trained Ricardo Pinto Lopez. He trained Juan Manuel Marquez. At some point, he trained Morales. He trained Oscar.
Yep.
Like, bro, what are we talking about? And like Chepo Reynoso, he never fought as well. But you know who he brought on? Canelo Alvarez. And then Eddie took him off from there.
Talk to him. It's crazy, bro. I don't get it, bro. He said, I give Kid Austin 40K and tell him to keep it moving. You talking about for the Abdullah Mason fight? Yeah, it's just people just say anything. Like I said, I don't see, bro. Bro, Devin. Like I said, I'm not a big Devin fan, but guys, dang, man, you gonna knock the young man for everything, bro. You gonna knock him for having Sugar Shane Mosley in this camp? What do we do?
They made us like Devin fans, like me and you. Like they made us.
Bro, thank you, Oscar. Thank you.
We are saving this. Like,
oh my lord, bro. Oh my lord. They literally made me a Devin Haney fan. Literally made me a Devin Haney fan. That's true. Literally made me a Devin Haney fan, bro.
Bro, like he's not that bad, bro. Like he's good. He's a good boxer. He don't got maybe he don't got the chin you want him to have, but
right.
He's a good boxer. He don't need a chin.
Right.
America didn't need a chin to beat all them guys he beat.
Come on now. You got to be a complete boxer, bro. You got to have everything. Bro. That's how people act. You got to be perfect.
They act like Pitbull got like the greatest boxing ability.
Yep.
No, hell no. That guy can't hardly box.
Yep.
He saw pressure and swinging.
Yep.
That's all he is. But like, yeah, he did.
Yep. Yep.
And there's another point, if you don't mind me.
No, go ahead, bro. No, go ahead.
Well, it was the Chris Eubank, like people getting mad. I guarantee you, the people that are talking shit to Chris Eubank, like, oh, he had to post this, he like this. I bet you that's the same people that don't tip their waitress, bro. I guarantee
Facts.
Facts.
Facts. That's a fact, bro. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Like, you don't have to do that, bro. You didn't even take your waitress. What the fuck you complaining?
It's his money, bro. Exactly, his money, and I'm sure the people that he blessed with that are happy. Like Ellie Scotty, she posted like 2-3 times, like 2-3 posts of it. Shout out to her. She was excited. She was appreciative. Man.
Yes, bro. If I was like the fighter that he gave the money to, like I understand that they're mad. Like, bro, why are you putting my business out there? You know?
Yeah. I get that. Yep.
But they're happy. They're like enjoying it. They're like,
right.
Shout out to you. I remember when you did that for me.
Right. And it's not like he said, oh, these fighters asked. It'd be different if he put it out saying like, oh, they asked me for it, so I sent it to them. No, they could be. He's not saying that they're not rich. He just added to it. They could be rich too, and they might not even need it. But it's just a gesture. He didn't say, oh yeah, they begged me for money. They need it. No, he just did it.
Like I'm gonna take it to like me and you level.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I remember one time somebody said, not in a bad way, but somebody was like, oh, I bet Oscar's low. Like, no, bro, I'm just a good guy. I like your content. You know, I say this to you. And
yeah, I remember that too.
Like, I stay care until you make it or whenever, you know.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm enjoying your content. Like I enjoy like this. To me, this is therapy. Like I don't even want to say it.
I appreciate it, bro.
But it's like, why are you paying attention to my shit? You worry about your own shit.
Yep, that's what it is, man. You know, and yeah, I can't even say it any better. Like you just said, bro. People just be jealous, dog, envious, bro. It's crazy, dog. It's crazy, bro. I don't understand. I don't understand.
You know, goofies. They got
goofies. That's
it's
it.
The minority. It's like the minority, but they're the ones that speak the loudest.
Yep, exactly. Goofies, man. Goofy's gonna be goofy. You gotta let the goofies be goofy, man.
Hell yeah, fuck them guys. If you hear me, if you're a goofy and you're listening and you're not typing, fuck you. I don't like you.
That's a fact, man. So you said, okay, so who fought today at the Grand Prix? Because I ain't gonna lie, like I said, I was watching it, but I wasn't like locked in. So I know I saw featherweights and I know you see super
featherweights.
Yeah, who else?
I mean, the one to watch out is that guy Mosquera, the Mexican guy.
Mm-hmm.
He had a vicious knockdown.
Oh yeah, yep. I saw that one. Yep.
That other guy was also another guy that I was looking at. You know, he was being talked about like rather highly, but he got KO'd bad.
Yep. And what weight classes were they today? It was just featherweight and super featherweight, right?
It was just super featherweight.
Okay.
It was like a tournament.
Yeah.
What I don't like though is that Mosquera and Munguia Jr. If they win their next fights, they're gonna have to fight each other.
Yep. That's the thing. We're gonna see a lot of. It can only be one, so we're gonna see some bells. Yeah. So it's gonna be good, but at the same time, it's like a lot of prospects gonna be. They're gonna have that.
Well, that guy Jermaine, like that guy was being talked about like very, very, very highly. They were like, yeah, he just got it. He picked it up late, but he's got it. He's one of them. He is that guy. And then he just got put on, like, you know.
Yep. Hey, it is
Uh,
what it
Like
is, man. Hey,
like you
yeah.
said, and I was rooting for him because he's from Oklahoma City, so like maybe like
Oh, okay, so Oklahoma. Okay, Oklahoma City.
and
Okay.
I was like, yeah, but no,
He
no.
said, but no.
No, no, no. You can just tell it's like an iron skill. I don't know if you have one or like anybody in the chat has one.
Uh-huh.
The other guy was just well seasoned, bro.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, there's no knock on him, and definitely got to salute the other guy. You know, he did his thing. That's the beauty of these tournaments because there is no like. Well, I mean, I guess there is
But no,
allegiance from it, like
yeah,
you know, if your
it
nationality
don't
and
really matter.
you have the same flag and stuff like that or something like that. But other than that, there's no familiarity with these guys, so you really just want to see good fights. That's a great thing about this stuff. So
I know I do want to see an IBF. Can you imagine IBF having one of these?
ooh, that'd be crazy, man. So tomorrow's light heavyweight, you said. Ooh, that's gonna be good. What time does it start? You know?
At the same time.
Okay, bet. So we
Same
gonna be on. We
So,
gonna be
so
on
like
that.
when you come on, it's gonna be on till like 3 o'clock, 4
Yes,
o'clock.
sir. Yes, sir. We looking forward to that. That's good. Yeah, I loved it, man. Light heavyweight gonna be even more exciting for the masses, you know, because it's bigger guys. So pause. So people gonna want to see it more. So yeah. Let's
No,
get it.
did it?
Let's
I
get
just
it,
couldn't believe
man.
how many knockouts were today,
Whew.
or like stoppages.
Yep.
I'm like, light heavyweight getting this many stoppages? It was like every other fighter was a stoppage.
Mm-hmm.
Now light heavyweights, unless there's a guy fundamentally sound, gonna be vicious.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir, man.
Is there any guy you like today from the Grand Prix, or like a guy to catch your eye?
You mentioned them. I don't remember their names off the top. The mascara guy, the
Oh yeah.
Magia Junior guy. There was another guy, something Lee.
Oh yes, the American guy.
Yeah, the American guy, and then there was another guy from dang, I don't remember where he was from. Man, I don't remember.
The English guy.
Nah. It could, let me not say nah, because it could have been the one English guy that was Indian descent, Pawar.
Yeah,
He was good too. But there was another
he was
guy.
good, but not that good, honestly, in my opinion.
You didn't think he was that good? I thought he was pretty good. But he was fighting the other guy that was what's it, Lamita,
Yeah, it was like same styles. Like that's
true.
the thing.
Yeah, I thought they're both pretty good actually.
They could have gone either way, honestly. That one.
I feel you. There was another guy. I don't remember where he's from. I want to say he was from Nigeria, but I'm not sure.
No, Ghana.
It was Ghana. It might have been Ghana.
The one that fought. The one that I remember. I called that guy. I was like, oh look, this guy from Ghana.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's when I was live, and then when I got off live, there was another guy from Nigeria that lost. If I'm not mistaken. So so I'm talking about the guy that won from Ghana. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, because that's what I was on. Yeah, I'm talking about him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to them, but I got to see them again so I can remember their names and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it was good. A lot of good fights, man. I don't think I saw one fight that I was disappointed in, to be honest.
I think I just have like a little bias against that British guy because you know the song commentary, like the British guy.
Wait, what happened?
The short bald white guy, you know, the British guy.
Oh yeah. You don't like him? I feel you.
Yeah, that guy just pisses me off.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah,
and
I feel you on that.
He demonstrated. I'm like, bro.
Yep.
Like, I would like that guy so much more if he weren't talking, honestly. So like next fight, I gotta watch him without commentary. Just that fight. I can't stand that guy, bro. He's just so biased.
You, bro. He is. It's ridiculous too. They can't even help themselves. Like you don't feel like icky. You don't feel like, gosh dang, you ain't that biased, bro. It's crazy. But shoot, Oscar, I'm about to go ahead and call it, man. I'm about to go ahead and call it, bro. I appreciate you pulling up on me as always, man. Setting off the stream right, man. All the support. Greatly appreciated, brother. Should be on in the morning for real for this. You said light heavyweights, right?
Yeah. Ty Oster, Irony. Quack.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. He said quack is crazy. Yes, sir. They be ducking. You know they be ducking, bro. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, man. God bless, bro. He said, my guy Kendrick said that, oh man, crazy rap. It was a cop's son? Nah, I didn't know that part. Dang, and 2 passed away? Oh man. Bro, right there in Tallahassee, bro. That's crazy, Kendrick. You know that a couple years ago, I could have been caught up in that, bro. Oh, here go Ty. Ty said, who done? Y'all know you gotta ask Oscar, bro. Don't ask me, bro. But that's the thing, Kendrick. I could have been there a couple years ago, bro. God bless him, man. I didn't know people 2 passed away. Jeez, man. And this is just, you just never know, man. So it's like you can't even tell somebody, oh man, be safe. You know, they're just at class and people just run down in the university and just do some stuff like, what's wrong with you, bro? I didn't know it was a cop's son too. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I gotta look more into it, man. That's sad though. But shoot, man. Appreciate y'all rocking as always, man. Don't forget to smack that like button. You feel me? Don't forget to smack that like button like you should have done already. You know what I'm saying? And smack that subscribe button like this is telling you right here. You know what I'm saying? Hit that bell as well, turn on notifications. And if you would be so kind, consider becoming a member like all the other members that are in the channel, holding it down and keeping the lights on and keeping us going and growing, man. Shout out to all the members, baby. I really appreciate that, man. Let's keep it going, man. Hey, shout out to my guy Kendrick, man. My boy Kendrick is dropping some gems in the chat. He said, yeah, that's exactly why I don't hold grudges with those I love. Gosh, Lee, bro, that's you just dropped a bomb on us right there with that one. Don't hold grudges, man. It's easier said than done, man. But yeah, I got to do the same, man. I got to work on that as well, man. So appreciate those words, man. So yeah, y'all be easy. Take care of yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to those that show some love in the super chat, dropping that graffiti on the chat walls. We got Oscar with the $2. YD becoming a member at the bachelor level, man. Bachelors in Boxing Talk. Shout out to YD. Yes, sir. We got another member. Shout out to Big Dog, Jake Paul, Chase the Bag, Tank, Willie with the $2 in the super chat. And shout out to Oscar Perez, man, with another $5 in the super chat, man. Y'all be holding me down. Don't worry, one day we gonna get, you know what I'm saying, 50, 100, 11 people in here where all the pressure ain't on a few to hold it down. But I appreciate those that do, you know what I'm saying? So y'all be easy, take care of yourselves. Don't forget to smack that like button. For real, if you haven't done so already. Slap yourself first and then slap the like button. But most importantly, remember, with God, we can do anything. Without God, we're nothing. The doctor's out. Peace. From the hood to college, both worlds they had to meet. 6 degrees between us, so cold we're about to freeze. But we're Florida boys, hot takes, we bring the heat. We're moving the culture, the engineers to the streets.